Hello, everyone. It's Sunday. Must mean it's time for another Dropped Frames. We're in the vacuum of news right now. Everyone's prepping. Okay, what are we calling it? Naughty 3 Summer Game Fest.
I call it SGF.
SGF.
It can't be not E3 anymore because E3 is dead.
You said it so fast. I was like, who are the Naughty 3? Are we the Naughty 3?
Yes. Yes.
Like the three amigos, but sexier.
What about Key 3? K3. Like Keeley 3, but Key 3? No?
Keeley 3?
Keeley 3?
I would say SGF because that's what it.
But a lot of those, yeah. I mean, SGF is Keeley's event, but the Xbox event, is that a part of Summer Game Fest?
The Xbox event is doing it then because I believe that you could say that it's because there is still something there to bring the industry together.
That used to be called anymore. What?
Oh no, it's not E3 anymore.
Sure.
Now it's SGF.
Sure.
So I mean. And it also SGF kind of is a good umbrella term because it's like Summer Games Festival, which kind of it's like it's like a all encompassing term, not specifically that show. It's just like the whole festival kind of thing. But no, they aren't directly associated with SGF, are they?
I don't believe they are. That's why I bring up the idea of, can we call it SGF if it's a week-long thing and only one thing is related to the Summer Game Festival. I think we can, but it depends on how much Keeley pays us,
It's true. It's a good point. Very good point.
We really have to, think about how many zeros there are on that check.
We're going to have to turn the screws on him and see what we can...
Yeah. I mean, he's got money now.
See what it's worth.
He's got money now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're doing pretty good numbers out there, so we gotta talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta talk with them.
So what if it was like the E3 remake? Why don't we just call it Re3? No?
Well, that's good, but again, like the whole E3 part is dead. Like it's E3 died, and then they tried to bring it back via a necromancer and his art, and then that machination failed and crumbled back into parts, and we will probably never see it again. So it's the kind of thing
you
where,
want no connotation or no like correlation to E3. You want to?
I would say E3 not only died, it died twice. It's like you can't really get more done. It pulled an Anthem, man.
Okay,
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
So I mean, it's gone. It's dead.
Yeah,
and it should. It should be allowed to die. Like it's like it's one of those things where it's like we're going through the stages of grief. It's time to move on. It's time for acceptance, and it's time to move on. E3 is a closed chapter in our books. It is.
I don't want it to go. I like the E3.
I'm mad it's not here.
I want it. I like the name. It's even.
I'm with WD-40. Like WD-40 from your chat, JP said SGF has no ring to it. I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
It has no flow.
I agree. But we might not have a better option. Because it is like for what SGF stands for, that's what it is. It is a summer event about games that is a celebration, a festival. Like fucking Keeley really got that one. Like he sat there and really figured it out. Yeah. He really got it right. Good. He got it right.
This reminds me of the discussion we had or have had a few times. Like, what do we call a Vampire Survivors like game?
Sure.
Auto shooter.
Like, what do we call the Summer Game Fest? But it has to include everything. It's not E3 anymore, and it's like Summer Game Fest is one thing, but there's more stuff happening at a similar time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Said, by the way, now that E3 is officially gone and Summer Games Festival is kind of taking the reins, I would not be surprised if we see either an expansion or rebranding of the Game Awards at the end of the year. I think Keeley is going to try to make the Game Awards part of a Winter Games Festival or something. Like right now, he has this gigantic show towards the end of the year that is the Game Awards, but I would not be surprised to see him try to grow that out so there's 2 GFs per year, like a
Do
Summer's
you
Game Festival, Winter Games Festival.
do you think that the Game Awards has more pull than Summer Game Fest at this point? Like in terms of just a
I think
brand, like brand awareness?
the Game Awards is a show. Like,
Right.
it's an event. So not only is it an event, but especially after the last couple of years, it's proven that, a lot of major companies are okay to lend their name to it and make announcements there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's bigger, but it is definitely on par. Like it's the difference is Summer Games Fest is like multiple things over multiple days, where the Game Awards is like boom.
Right.
So it's like a one night thing. So that's one of the reasons I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised to see it grow out somehow into not just being like one thing, but
Yeah.
more of a
No, it makes sense.
a festival, if you will.
It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. If you can get more of the industry to like work around that period in terms of, announcements and whatnot. Cause that's why E3 got so big in the first place, was that
And,
the industry built all of their schedule around it to announce things.
and also, as a very good point my chat is bringing up, especially they need to be ready for when there is another God of War, because they're going to need a show just for his next acceptance speech.
That is true. Yeah. They should just rename that award to,
The Christopher Judge
the
Award.
Christopher Judge Awards. Yeah. Yeah. Christopher Judge
Respectfully.
Award. Be good. Be good. Yeah. We have most of the dates already for all that stuff. It starts Wednesday, June the 7th, with the Guerrilla Collective and the Tribeca Festival. Summer Game Fest is Thursday, and then the days of play are Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday's kind of the big day. Because
And
Saturday,
that is June what?
that is the Saturday. Is that what?
Yeah.
Or sorry, Sunday's the big day. Saturday's
the big
got the Future Game Show is Saturday. Sunday has the Xbox Game Showcase, right into Starfield Direct, and I think right after that is the PC Gaming Show.
So just to be clear, the Microsoft event and Starfield thing are nestled in the middle of SGF, but are not associated with it.
Yes, Summer Game Fest starts the Thursday, June the 8th. The days of play, which are his like in-person event in LA, are Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is Xbox. So
And
they
then
kind of like
after that,
bookend it.
there's more. Yeah. So I can just imagine Jeff being like, fine, you don't want to be part of my show? Well, I'm just gonna like put my show over yours,
Yeah.
and now you're a part of my show.
That's right, yeah. Because then on Monday is the Ubisoft event, Ubisoft Forward. We don't have time for that yet, I don't think. Tuesday is the Xbox Showcase Extended, so they're doing like a second showcase like they did last year.
Oh,
Right.
it's like the indie focus thing.
Well, I assume they'll have like developers on and talk about. That's what they did last year was talk about all the stuff they announced, and then that is kind of it. I think Sony. I don't know what Sony's statement is, if they're going to do anything or not. And I want to say Nintendo hasn't announced if they're going to do anything yet that I know of. Chat, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, it looks like it's like the 7th through the 13th is when all that stuff goes on.
Cool.
Um,
And when does Diablo 4 come out again?
June 1st. It's 6 p.m.
June 1st.
Yeah, it launches at night on June.
So we should
1st.
have some good time to sink into Diablo 4 before all this tomfoolery hits.
Yeah, we'll have about 5 or 6 days. Yeah.
And then so June 1st for Diablo 4, and then when is Final Fantasy 16?
That is later in June. I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry. That is June 22nd.
Okay.
Is Final
That's
Fantasy
after
16.
everything. There was another big release in June. Was that Street Fighter 6?
Street Fighter 6 comes out June the 2nd. So Diablo 4 comes out June the 1st.
Yeah.
At like 6 p.m. our time or 6 p.m. your time. And then 4 hours later, Street Fighter 6 launches at midnight or whatever.
And then Final Fantasy 16 on the 22nd. What other big releases are in June? Are there any more, or is that it?
That's pretty much it. There's Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, and then Final Fantasy 16 bookends that.
Street Fighter? I think Street Fighter will be just fine.
I mean,
Diablo 4 and 6 and Street Fighter players are. I mean, those are very different communities. There is some overlap as gamers, but I mean, those are very different communities.
Yeah.
I think both will be just fine.
I agree. July's a little slower. Exoprimal comes out July 14th. Pikmin 4, July 21st. Those are kind of the two big releases. And then the end of August is just a nightmare.
We Armored Core into Baldur's Gate 3 into Starfield.
Sea of Stars also on the 29th.
Yeah, which is
that's in between Armored Core and Baldur's.
I've had people tell me directly that is like the new Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
where it's
great.
Oh my god,
it's great.
Like, oh my god, dude,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The demo they put out on the Switch was a lot of fun. So, yeah, July's kind of the break time, I guess, to get your Diablo out. Or go back and revisit Street Fighter, depending on what you fancy. And then
play
August,
all the Armored Cores and ready for the new one.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and then August, the end of August is crazy. So it's about to get crazy. At least the beginning of June will be very busy with all the shows.
Void Train 1.0 on me. No, that's not right.
No, that's just Steam release.
Yeah, it's just Steam release. I have been fooled by that like 30 times.
Yeah.
Because I love that game. I can't wait for it to 1.0, but no. Yeah, Void Train does not 1.0 on May 9th. Void Train goes to Steam.
Yes.
And I'm sure at one point it was intended to be the 1.0, but it has been pushed back.
That's right. Yeah. July. Oh, you guys are going to are you guys going to Paris TwitchCon? Is that a thing?
Zeke is.
You're not. Okay. That's July 8th and 9th. Forgot
I'm
that was
doing
in July.
Vegas.
Gotcha.
Am I going to see you there, Zeke? Am I going to see you in Vegas?
Man, come on now. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna be
Yeah. Okay.
TwitchCon in Vegas, dude. Man, motherfucker, come on, dude. Get out of here.
That's good.
I guess I mean the only person that would stop me from going to Vegas is my Gambling Anonymous sponsor.
Man,
you're gonna open your door to leave. You're gonna open your door to leave, and he's gonna be there like holding a stop sign. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, get back in your house.
those are going to be some very interesting IRL streams in Vegas that'll assuredly pop up from all the big streamers just walking around. People just drunk as shit with like giant.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I think Mary Kish said it best, where she's like, "What stays in Vegas gets broadcast live to everyone on Twitch.tv."
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
like be aware. Be aware, everyone, of the places you're going and the people you're going with, and the partying you're going to be doing. Be aware that it's possible and sometimes most likely probable that you will be streamed out. So be careful.
Well,
don't do anything that you would regret.
At any point at TwitchCon, there's a chance a camera will be looking at you.
Can
no
you
matter what you say, no matter where you are?
Can you record in a casino?
I don't believe so. I think there's areas you can, but anywhere where there's actual gambling, you can't.
You can't.
I'm almost positive, sure.
Right. That makes sense.
You can live stream gambling for sure. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's also another facet. Is get ready for those sponsored gambling streams live from TwitchCon.
No, you think so?
Oh, 100%. They're putting together
wild.
Stuff right now. 100%. You're going to see some you're going to see all the big streamers, like 30, 40K plus folk, all sitting at a table gambling for a sponsored stream. 100%. For like some blackjack.
I mean, I will say they've done many sponsored streams. I mean, hell, what was it? Eric was just doing a big competition recently. For a gambling poker.
Soda Poppin', I think, did one as well. And Ludwig and them have done one in the past.
I actually got an offer for that.
Yeah.
And did I talk about it on the show? Like, I got an offer, and it was for America's Card Room, which I think is the same place.
That's the same one, that they had. One.
Yeah. America's Card Room, and the website is like a .eu. like
it has to be in a
card room.
Yeah. It's got to be in a proper location to gamble online type stuff. Yeah. Because you can't.
Yeah.
There's you can't gamble anymore online in the US, right? They banned it or something, or I don't think you can.
I have no idea. I thought that was state by state, but I could be wrong.
It might be.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's state by state.
Okay. Got it.
America's European Card Room.
Yes. Nice. Zeke, was it lucrative? Everyone says those things are like too good to turn down. That's why most of them don't turn it down. Can you say yes or no to that? Or should we just move on silently?
As far as like, do they throw a bag of money at you?
Yeah, I mean that's
Absolutely.
always
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Their business is money.
Their
And
business
lots
is
and lots
money.
of
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
No, it just struck me weird that like I think I took too long like researching and getting back to them or whatever, so it never went through. But it struck me so funny that it was like America's Card Room. .eu or
.eu.
you know, like I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
That's how that goes.
Meanwhile, I got the people. I don't know what .y means, but I'm going to be playing my gamblings.
I like my .ru,
and I like that this is American gamblings.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Let's move on to news. There's not much. It's been a lot of fun this past week. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom leaked 10 days before release.
Did it?
Yeah, it's fully out there. Both physical versions of the game as well as digital versions of said game. And a lot of people have been streaming them on Twitch, and that's been a lot of fun because you could probably go to that directory right now. And if you just go into that directory and click on any of those streams, I haven't seen a single one of those streams go past 90 minutes before being permanently banned. They are just like rapid fire banning people there. And I've only seen the beginning of the game streamed. I haven't seen anything else outside of that. But there's also, like, you would think they'd be throwaway accounts or like, just like accounts that people don't stream. No, there's like full-fledged streamers. There's like graphics and everything.
The very first guy that I click on, it says across the top, if I get banned, join my Discord.
Yeah, no, that's it. They're all advertising.
Exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
That is hilarious, dude.
But they're not getting much viewership, right? It's only like a couple hundred.
No, barely.
Yeah.
Not even a couple hundred.
Yeah.
And that's only the first two streams. Then everything after that is like 50 or less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Probably because they're all getting banned. Like, yeah.
Yeah. 90 minutes is the longest I've seen most of those go. So I don't know what the rest of that game looks like. Then there's did you hear the Kotaku story about kind of all of this? So I don't know the exact specifics, but my general understanding is Kotaku was talking about how they are still banned from Nintendo in terms of getting keys early.
Oh.
And so
Are you talking about the guy that posted the picture?
Well, no, I'm talking about
okay, good.
I don't know what that is. It might be in association with it, but Kotaku was talking about how blah 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 they got banned. They don't have a review key. There's a couple other reporters that don't have review keys. That's how Nintendo wants to handle it. And so Kotaku had an article entitled the very next day, I think, "Everything we're learning about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom from the leaks." And then it's just like a top 10 list of all of the information from the leaks.
That's a way to do it.
Yeah, so you can go read that.
That is a way to do it.
Just dig in that hole.
I've always been a fan of the "fuck me, no fuck you" style of journalism.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's been pretty good. So that's what's going on with Zelda. I don't know when that review embargo is. Chad, if you guys happen to know, I would assume like Tuesday or maybe even Monday. It releases this Friday. And I would assume Nintendo's pretty confident about it, so you're going to have somewhat of an early review embargo on that. But Chad, if you guys have the date, let us know one way or the other. But that's it with Zelda. Honestly, the biggest news of the week was kind of Redfall. That kind of took the cake on Monday, and then there was an interview with Kind of Funny Games with Phil Spencer, and that kind of carried more Redfall. And that's kind of it. I don't think there's anything else outside of that. So I guess we can jump into the Redfall discussion. Hogwarts Legacy's past retail sales of 1 billion. I saw that. So that game sold stupidly well. And then CSGO hit an all-time high of 1.8 million players on Steam concurrent, which is crazy to think about.
not the Counter-Strike 2 or just Counter-Strike?
Just Counter-Strike Go. Just the old Counter-Strike.
Yes, go, man.
Yeah, 1.8
Is there a
million.
reason for that? Like,
My chat was saying it's because there's a tournament on Monday, and you can do predictions in Counter-Strike, and if you do a prediction, you get a thing, a digital thing, an item or something like that.
I personally am a big fan of things.
Yeah, and so if you do all that,
and getting them for free.
yes, you get things for free.
It's the last CS:GO major. People are saying.
Oh, because they're going to transition over into CS2. Okay, that makes sense.
I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. People are probably trying to get skins to sell. I mean, that's always true. But 1.8 million is kind of wild. That's a massive concurrent. That's like, I wonder if WoW ever hit that during its like heyday back in the day. Like if they ever crossed that threshold. They never really released numbers on that, just total subscriptions. But I think that's kind of it. Darkest Dungeon releasing tomorrow, so they got a launch trailer out. Darkest Dungeon 2, sorry. Releasing tomorrow, 1.0. Very excited for that. They got a trailer
Very
out.
excited.
That should be
Darkest
fun.
Dungeon 2 is so good. It's so good. Oh my god.
I think that's... Ghostwire Tokyo crossed 4 million folk playing that, which is a lot, to be honest. A lot of that's probably Game Pass. And then Wartales announced they sold 600,000 copies since launching in early access.
Another great game.
Yeah, I think both of you have been playing.
Still playing it.
Yeah,
yeah. I've been playing it off stream, and it's feeding a lot of the or scratching a lot of the itches.
Yeah,
like gamer wise that I have, and I just love it.
Sweet.
I played it last
having
night.
a blast with it.
It's still doing well.
Good for them, dude. They deserve it.
And then the latest Honkai stat, they made 40 million USD with 14 million downloads in 5 or 6 days is the stats around that. So,
what was that again?
$40 million so far is what Honkai Star Rail has made. The Genshin, the next game from the Genshin devs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said, I was like, you said words, and I didn't know those words.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
And you said them again, and I still didn't know those words.
Yeah, yeah. The weird part to me is reading that kind of seems a little low, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Like 40 million is a shit ton of money, but for mobile games, it seems kind of low, especially the next game from the Genshin devs. But I don't know. Let's talk Redfall. Zeke, did you play Redfall? I'm curious, or did you just kind of like see people talking about it?
No, I don't think Redfall would have been a game for me anyways, really.
Sure.
No, I'm just saying it's not like the even if it was like, perfectly executed or whatever, which I heard it wasn't. I don't think it would have been my kind of game because it's mostly like, isn't like a PvE MMO something maybe?
It's like Far Cry open world PvE. There's no PvP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't interested in it in the first place. So
yeah, I don't think very many people are because Thursday Borderlands 2 had more people playing it on Steam. So it was under 1,000 people playing on like 3 days after its release. Granted, it is on Game Pass. That's not the major, platform for it to be played on, but
still, that's an oof.
Yeah, that's a big oof. That is without a doubt a big oof. Cohh, we both did sponsored streams for it. You went back after the sponsored stream, right?
I beat the game.
You beat the game.
Beat the game.
Jesus. Okay, I didn't. How long did that take you? What are you talking about?
I think my numbers here are skewed. I'd have to check my YouTube to get the exact one.
Okay.
But let's see. My time on here is 19 hours, but I think I left it on at one point, so I think it was more like 14 or 15.
Are you on Steam with that game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you go to Steam and look at the achievement for beating the game, what is the percentage of players that have that achievement?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me see here.
I'm really curious how low that percentage is.
How do I look at that? Complete all main missions in Burial Point. Burial Point is the second area.
Okay.
13.7%.
That's higher than I thought, to be honest. That's not that.
I think a lot of people, what happened is they paid $70 for the game, realized they played it just
God.
too much to refund it, and then said, "Well, at least I'm going to beat this because I paid $70 for this $30 game."
Yeah, whew. When I was doing that sponsored stream, I did not mention that it was $70 and just talked about Game Pass nonstop.
I made mention frequently to Game Pass, during my sponsored stream as well.
That one was an interesting sponsored stream for sure.
I have many a lap dance I've received. I'm like, I already paid. I guess finish. I guess this is not fun for me. But I'm not gonna stand up and leave. So just, I guess let's have three more minutes. All right.
Totally, I can relate to that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Completely.
There, right? Yeah,
that's all the time, man.
Yep.
Lap dancing.
Been there, done that. Not
Am
enjoyed it.
Am I the only one on the Drop Frame Screw that has received a lap dance from a stripper?
No, I've been to a strip club.
I actually had a stripper roommate, so that's a story for another. That's a story for another time.
Nice. Yeah, well, that
and
is.
then she became my wife, and we've had a happy life since then.
No, but my wife lived with me at the time. So that
nice.
This story gets better. Is after Redfall discussion like what? Or should we skip Redfall Cohh and go right to that whole discussion?
I believe most of this discussion would not be safe for Twitch, so we're just going to leave it alone for now.
Okay, Redfall. Back to the topic.
Back to Redfall.
Yeah. So 14 hours for this. I did. I played 3, and then look. Cohh, would you say this is a bad game?
The term that I have been using for this game is aggressively mid.
Yeah.
It is an aggressively mid game. There are parts of it that are bad.
Yeah.
Like the AI is broken. There are other bugs with the game. The always online stuff that's just bad. Those are bugs, they're bad. Some people are having issues with performance, that's bad. But the reason I call this game aggressively mid, and I do mean middle. I know that a lot of people use the term mid to mean below average or bad. However, I grew up in the, as we will say, Devil's Lettuce community, where there was Schwag, Mid, and Hydro, in which case mid is actually middle. So that's where middle came from. I've had people try to lecture me, telling me that, oh, no, mid means bad. You're saying it's bad. I'm like, no, I'm not. Learn your terminology or get older. But anyway, it's a jazz cabbage thing. That's right. So going back to aggressively mid, basically what's going on with this game is that nothing in this game is done like above average. The world is okay. The gunplay is okay. The skill system is okay. The items are okay. The story, I will say this, the presentation of the story for a $70 product is borderline insulting.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It is actually borderline insulting. The fact that they would use like this weird still frame thing after showing fully animated PR material. And then the thing that drives me crazy is there's this big part of the game where you find these blue memory floaty orb things, and you use them, and like characters pop up and start doing things. They not only didn't even give these characters character models, they didn't animate them, and it's literally stick figures. This is a
like
nicer
skeletal
version
frame
of stick figures.
Yeah.
There's only one scene in which they're animated, and it's literally someone going like this. And it's just like what it looks like is that they storyboarded it.
Yeah.
It looks like that it was the kind of thing where it's like, okay, we're going to have a cutscene here. We're going to have a cutscene here, which is so weird because the voice acting is good. Like the voice acting is great. Like there's some great voice actors and they're doing a great job, but like the writing isn't great. The pacing isn't great. The actual things that you see are just literally placeholder. It feels like,
right.
It's so weird. And I have a 12-minute thoughts video on this game on my YouTube. And the TLDR of it is, this is a first-party game from a flagship studio that's Arcane Studios, one that I love. I love Arcane Studios. Prey, Dishonored, even all the way back to Arx Fatalis. I love Arcane. High expectation. First-party studio. high expectation. $70 product, high expectation. Game Pass, like day one, huge, like one of 2 big releases from Microsoft, high expectation. The entire game comes in down here. Like it sets the bar so high, and then nothing in the game even reaches for that bar. Like it's just so aggressively middle of the line. Like they did
Yeah.
not even bother trying to make it more than what it is. It feels like a $30 game. And I think if it was $30, then people would give it a lot more slack. I think but it feels like a side project. It doesn't feel like a AAA gaming experience. It feels like a company that was like, "Ah, yeah, we'll just make a co-op shooter on the side between our main titles." Like that's what it feels like. It's very strange how just completely they missed the mark on how they marketed and priced it as opposed to what they gave consumers.
Yeah. I would go as
And,
far
and I'm
as
and I'm done.
I would go as
all
far
done.
as to say like it feels like a $30 early access title because
In a lot of ways.
so much of this game just feels like like you said, they storyboarded. They got halfway into the idea and then they moved on to another halfway into the idea. And like so much of that is nothing in this game like screams that it's complete to me. I don't want to say the game felt rushed at all, like they were rushing to get it out the door. It just feels like it was incomplete, and they made it. They like put a bow on it and marketed it, and then released it.
I'm going to go ahead and respond to something in chat because I've had to make this point many times, and I'm going to make it again. The game is not bad. Yes, there's parts of it that are bad, like the story, like the AI, the broken AI, and the cutscenes of main elements. But just the gameplay, like when you're just running around and shooting people and you're looting, it's a looter shooter and you're getting cool new guns and legendaries. And sometimes the combat clicks and works. There's a reason I finished it. I finished it because it was just enjoyable enough for me to want to go all the way to the end. So people, like someone in chat says, "Stop saying mid, it's just bad." I'm thrilled you feel that way. I don't. So stop telling me how to believe it, my own opinion on it. I appreciate that. But no, I felt it was a mid game and I wanted a great game. I wanted an arcane game. And instead I just got this like very generic, relatively boring, like sure it's playable and it's kind of fun. I know a lot of people that are playing this game with friends and they're like, it's fine for what we wanted it for. You know, people are playing on Game Pass. They don't know who Arcane is. And they're like, yeah, it's just, the world's kind of pretty and I like shooting vampires and, my friends are there and, they're having a fine time. So it's not like a broken mess. Like games have released and just been completely broken and unplayable and or terrible, or the world completely sucks and is abysmal. Like this game has problems, but I still feel it's just a middle of the road game.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
I love one of my favoriteest things, obviously, is reading the Steam negative reviews.
Oh God.
Fastest refund I've ever done on Steam. Glad I got my $100 back to spend on hookers. One of these was
the deluxe was $100 for this. Is that what that means?
Apparently,
I think so. Yeah,
man.
They're like collectors or whatever. It's rough, man. Yeah,
that's offensive. That's kind of crazy.
Redfall has all the bells and whistles you want. It's glitchy, messy, laggy, and empty. It's on its way to becoming GOTY garbage of the year. But my favorite, it's just a one word review. Turdfall.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of again, a lot of people are very upset, and I think a lot of the upset part again comes with the expectations and just the fact that it doesn't meet them.
Oh, I agree too.
Again,
yeah.
It would be totally different if it was $30 and not being touted as a first party title. Like it would be a different situation. For sure.
Yeah. Well, and I think, if you outside of this game, it 100% tarnishes everything that Xbox is trying to do. I mean, they haven't apart from Hi-Fi Rush earlier this year, they haven't really put out like a giant win in a while. And if you want people to be excited about, the offerings of Game Pass or even just anything first party that you do, you want to put out good games. You want to put out games that people want to play nonstop. This is not that game, right? And it hurt Microsoft's, I think, reputation, which...
Phil, man.
Yeah.
Did you see Phil's stuff about it?
I saw the whole interview. Phil, he starts the
painful.
interview with kind of funny, and he's like, yeah, guys, I'm not going to be like Happy Phil today. I'm gonna be like sad Phil.
Yep.
And that's I think that's an interesting window into his mind on this. It's definitely worth watching the interview. It's about 40 minutes long with kind of funny games if you haven't seen it yet.
I'm gonna feel so bad for Phil if Starfield sucks.
God, right? Like that's
Phil's
where my
a
mind
nice
went.
guy, man. And he's gonna like, oh, I can only imagine the PR speak he's gonna have to come up with if Starfield sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil.
That yeah, man.
Hopefully not.
He kind of touches on that in the interview. He says something along the lines of like, Starfield's great, but obviously you guys need to play that to believe me instead of just believing my words. And like, I think that was probably the best thing he could say, because he's right. He could say Starfield's the best game of all time, but none of us are going to take his word for that.
Starfield's in a rough place because even if it's a decent to good game, there's still people where, again, expectations are so high.
Oh, they're huge.
Even if it's a decent to good game, like people are going to there's going to be a huge amount of negativity around its release.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's the follow up to Skyrim, right? Like the games don't get bigger than that.
Yep.
Just in the major populace.
Not quite as bad as Half-Life 3, but it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. And this game again, the success or lack thereof of Redfall affects Starfield, right? Because now everyone's like, well, if this sucks, also what is this bug? What happened here? I
couldn't continue the main quest because the stake in my shotgun couldn't be used to progress it, so I had to actually switch guns to another weapon with a stake, so I could actually complete this quest. I
weird.
Restarted the game and ended my session, did all sorts of stuff. It was
You just had to switch guns.
One of the bugs in the game. I just had to switch guns. That's all it came down to.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of Redfall in a nutshell. So I don't really have anything to add to it. The classes were like,
oh no. Yeah. For the record, chat, we're not saying that it's Skyrim in space. We're saying that it's the next big release from Bethesda. Fallout 76 was not like a big release from them. That was, even they were like, we're putting this in early access. This isn't normal. I mean, yeah, it sucked, but it was not like the next big Skyrim. This is the next Skyrim level of release. Like it's Bethesda's big open world game that they come out with every 10 years now.
Follow up.
So that's what it is. It's not. If anything, it's going to be Fallout in space, Fallout 4 in space. But no, it's not Skyrim.
Yeah. A lot of people saying Fallout 4.
Oh, you're saying it's instead of Fallout 4? Well, Fallout 4 was big, but I feel like Skyrim was bigger.
Yeah, Skyrim's like, how many times
has
Skyrim
see Fallout 4
been released?
Ported to everything. You don't see, like Skyrim is like a flagship thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say Skyrim is a bigger deal than Fallout 4. Still big. Fallout 4 was big, but Skyrim's a little bit different.
Yeah, 100%. Skyrim's the type of game where you can go to most people who are just like very, very light gaming adjacent folk. Like, oh yeah, Skyrim, yeah, totally. No, I know what that is, right? Like I've sure, I know how that goes.
Fallout in space basically the Outer Worlds? It's a different company. That's Obsidian. It's not. Yeah.
People get hung up on classifications.
They really do. Yep.
It's what I'm hearing right now. So.
Gamers,
that's part of our job, though. Part of our job is to make the judgment calls on what classifies this as this and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's for us to be wrong about the judgment calls. I think
and be corrected.
Us to state them as correct and then be corrected with the right one.
Yeah,
I think is
sure.
But we do need to state our wrongness confidently. That's important.
100%. That's correct.
Something of which I don't think any of us have a problem with on this show.
No, whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
This gameplay footage just sending me. Yeah, I picked a great clip here. The show of Cohh having to reload the game like he was talking about. Yeah.
The last boss was interesting. I had a little slight spoilers, but no one's gonna play it. The final boss for Redfall. I literally, there were these three things you have to activate, and it puts waves of enemies between the player and the things.
Okay.
And my character just had an invisibility, so I was just like, boop, just ran over to it, used it. Like ran around, waited for a second for the invis to come up, boop, ran to the next one, used that. I don't think if I fired any bullets, none of it was at the boss or anything. I just ran between the spots and used them, and then it was like when I ran up and staked the boss, and we were good. Pretty
Great.
great.
Yeah.
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 I was actually thrilled at that point that the boss fight was that
so
easy.
easy.
I was so ready to just be like, okay, let's just wrap this up, move on to the next game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was
I-
it was great.
I just love how the graph chart of how much I enjoyed the game or respected it or whatever, and how much I'm willing to spoil it. So it's like, okay, no, I hated it. I hate it.
Well-
Fuck it. I'll tell you everything about it. I don't give a shit.
That's I like.
No, again, like here's the thing. Like again, there's parts of the game that are not great at all. There's parts of the game that aren't good. But I did have an okay time just running around and doing. It's kind of that same feeling you have when you're playing a Far Cry game and you're just kind of like enjoying yourself, running around, shooting people and blowing stuff up. Like it's not the worst, by no means the worst. You're just running around and in my thing, I was just talking to chat. We were hanging out and just running around and clearing missions and killing sub bosses and stuff like that. It was fine. It's fine. It did that just fine. Unfortunately, just all like the set pieces of the game, the cinematics, the cutscenes, the bosses, like none of them were really interesting at all. Like they weren't iconic. They weren't even good.
This is story, by the way, for folks that have not seen it yet. This is how they tell a story, which is it feels like incomplete.
The game would have been better if everything had worked. Oh, absolutely. The game would have been sizably better if the boss fights were actually meaningful, if the cutscenes were actually cutscenes, if every character in the game actually got a character model instead of a stick figure. Like if side characters were actually like people you could talk to instead of just 2 lines and then grunts for the rest of the time. Like it's all surface level. The whole game is a veneer. It's all like it's like a game at the fair where it's so flashy and stuff in front of you, but behind the scenes it's just something there to take your money. No depth.
So let me ask you this: did the vignettes, the tableaus, whatever, the still frame cutscenes, did it feel like a style choice or like a budget choice?
First of all, here's the thing. I feel remiss ever calling something in Redfall a budget choice when it's a company owned by Microsoft. It's a $70 game. If they actually didn't give that studio enough money to properly make the game, that is one of the largest failures on them, period. Like that is unbelievable to think. Let me
rephrase.
Thing.
That's what I was gonna rephrase into like time crunch. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would hope if money was actually involved, then that is a failure from the top down. If they did not give them the resources to make this game and then charge $70 and make it a flagship game. That is
that was
we would never know about that. That may have happened. For the record, that could have happened. And if it did, like that is just a massive mismanagement in terms of funds and resources. But what I think happened is I think this game was not a primary team. I don't think that the people that were working on this were working on it full time. And I think that the game was not ready for release at all. And just like Cyberpunk, I think a certain amount of time ago, this team was told, wrap it up as best you can. You have 6 months.
I think that's
make this game in the best you can in 6 months. And I think that's why we got this. Again, so many things in this game feel like placeholder or just not very well developed or just shallow. And from Arcane, which is known for doing the opposite of that in a lot of cases, it's a very weird thing. It's just it does, the stars don't really align with what we got as to where it came from. So something clearly happened with this game. Like this is not a standard Arcane game by any means. Okay. We'll probably never know what happened, but whatever happened absolutely happened.
I'm just wondering, like, I'm sure they do like tons and tons of cost analysis.
Oh,
like,
Phil
shit
talked
like that, and
about in the interview.
Okay.
He said, like, yeah, we did mock reviews on this, and the mock reviews were much higher than what currently exists in the real reviews. So, like, he even went and spoke about that in the interview.
Yeah, and also, I just got to say this because it drives me freaking crazy when people do this. No, it wasn't made by the main Arcane. This was their side studio. No, Arcane put their name on this game. Okay, Arcane is at fault for this. Doesn't matter who made it. Doesn't matter where they did. Arcane is at fault for this.
Yeah.
Never matters when a sub studio makes a game. It does not matter. If they put their name on it, the buck stops with them. Don't do that whole copium thing where it's like, no, it was Arcane Austin. It was Arcane Antarctica. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Just it's Arcane. Leave that conversation where it should be, dead in the ground. Great.
I agree with that. Yeah.
All right.
Zeke, what were you gonna say? We were talking about the mock review stuff or feedback or whatever internally.
Yeah, no, I was I'm sure they had like oh God, I'm sorry. I'm just movie references and pop culture and fart jokes. So I'm gonna make another movie reference. It
Do it.
reminds me of Edward Norton in Fight Club, where he's talking about his actual job. He's like, all right, we take, how much it would cost to recall the vehicles, times the how much it costs to the accident, insurance claim, blah, blah, blah. And I'm wondering, like, how close was it to be like, okay, we can either give it 6 months or we can make it good, but it's going to cost this much more, but it might sell that much more. And I'm wondering, I always wonder how close that is, how close that call is.
There was Phil goes into it a little bit in the interview and talks about like the creative aspect of video game creation, and said like eventually you just have to put a game out. And I thought that was like kind of
that's a very defeatist.
Well,
it's a realistic, but it's a defeatist thing.
I understand what he's saying though, because I've heard Rami say something along the same lines before, and I've heard a lot of devs like
Rami is for indie devs though. Like
that's the same thing though at its core.
It's not at all. No, it's not at all. When you're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations that like overturn millions and millions all the time and do entire failed ventures of systems like Mixer, and just write.
I see what you're saying in terms of
the idea that you have to release shit. Like, oh well, we just got to get this shit out there eventually. No, dude, that's I don't buy that at all. I think that's no.
I buy it.
Do you think so?
I buy it if they thought the game was going to be like a little bit better than what it is, right? I think they thought it was going to be like a game that was like 70 and was going to like coast by and like not be the not create this like perfect storm of the internet and skill up pan the fuck out of this game before it came out, and people, because of Bethesda's review embargo, reviews came out like 3 hours after it was released on Monday, and like it was a perfect storm of just like the internet's gonna fucking hate this game. And so I think that also had a lot to do with it, just from the get-go. But that being said, that's completely void from the topic that we were talking about. Yeah, I think I agree with him in the idea that like if a game's got to come out if you're at that stage. But
if you're gonna here's the thing.
I see what you're saying.
I can see if a team or studio is not able to make a game up to their own quality levels, when that studio has poured resources into it, the idea that they should just release it as a $70 product, that I find inexcusable. Like that is just 100% greed. Especially when you look at this game and you can so obviously tell the resources of a $70 game did not go into it.
Sure.
But sure, if it's an indie dev or even a smaller studio and they've been working on a game for years and they're like, we can't afford to do this anymore. It's one thing to need to get a game out. It's another thing to just want to get something out and move on to something different. And it seems like in Microsoft's case, there's never an issue of need. They don't need anything to go out.
I kind of think
Blizzard,
they do with Game
projects
Pass. They have to have games on Game Pass quarterly. I mean, that was like an internal
goal. Do they have to
goal.
have shitty games though? Like, do they have to have games that don't live up to the standards of the companies that are making them, that are going to do worse for their image than not? Like, is it really just that much of a quantity over quality thing?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think they probably did the internal analysis and was like, what are we going to take if we put this game out? Like, how bad is it going to be if we put this game out and it's on Game Pass? Is it worth it? And
I'd love to talk to Phil about this stuff, but I know
he'll never. Yeah, it would have. I don't know if you'd ever get that answer out of him. But I think those decisions are made all the time. And I think Game Pass is the type of thing where it's quantity over quality, right? Like they have to put out the first party titles. This is the spring title for Game Pass.
This argument makes sense in a vacuum where corporations and shareholders don't exist, but they do. But see, the idea there is that, okay, so if you're catering just to the money and the bottom line of the shareholders, then you just have to push it out as a lower quality product, which is going to hurt that company's reputation, hurt the reputation of the franchise. Like that seems completely counterproductive just to get the shareholders a little bit of money. Like at that point, don't you think the shareholders, especially if they're, long-term believers in the company, would want something different? I mean, it's not like every shareholder's in there to make a quick buck. Most are, let's be real, most are. But it doesn't mean that they're all going to say like, oh yeah, I need this payout right now. Like I think a lot were more invested in the company doing well to make them more money as time goes on. I mean, look at it now. I mean, think about the people that were going to do this game and potentially looking forward to like a Redfall 2. I guarantee you, from the sounds of the way they're structuring this game, that this was sold to shareholders as a long-term living product. They say so many times in public how they want to keep sticking with this game and keep working on it and keep content coming out. That's dollar signs in shareholders' eyes. So the idea that this game releases in this state early and now nobody wants any more content, I bet you, if anything, shareholders are pissed about that. And they're sitting there going like, oh, well, what about all that stuff you promised us about how this investment was going to pay off over the long term? Like now people don't even want to play this game, let alone the future content that you convinced me to invest in this project to get later. So I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy to just, say, well, they're shareholders, so we got to count for them. I think that it's incredibly difficult to ever properly justify releasing a garbage product from a company that's capable of better. Not even garbage. Doesn't live up to their standards, not a vision. I mean, games are art, and you can say that like a painting is never done and, it can always be improved on, always be changed like an artist would say. But at the same time, you're not going to see an artist be like, you know what? I'm not really feeling this painting. It kind of sucks. And so I'm just going to go work on something else and put this public in my portfolio. It's like that's going to, it just doesn't, so many things don't add up for anyone winning in those situations that it just seems like a terrible idea.
I will say, for what it's worth, and I'm not a financial advisor, but looking at stock, it's up. Right? Like it dipped a little bit on the second and it's up.
Wait, are you looking at Microsoft?
Yeah, I'm looking at Microsoft stock. It was,
I mean,
Microsoft I don't think
stock
it like
is a lot more encompassing.
It is 100%
one game release,
but
yeah.
like for shareholders, right? Like,
yeah.
What? What did you say? I was talking over you.
Redfall stock at.
Oh. Low. Sell. Not sell for $70.
Oh my Lord.
Sell for 30. Yeah. I think it dipped on the second because the CMA stuff. Yeah,
got him in the taint in this one. That was a good one.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he was very angry about that. But no, again, it's just like I'm especially sensitive to this stuff after CDPR, after having so much hope for Cyberpunk and having it released in the state that it did. So
right,
it's I've had hundreds and hundreds of discussions like what we're talking about with people about what's okay, what's realistic, what can be done, what should be expected, and that kind of stuff. So it's a deep conversation where there's not really any right answers, and really every project is kind of its own beast in that regard. But I have to say, in Redfall's case, when specifically talking about Redfall, there's so many things that don't make sense about how it released now with the state that it did, in the state that it did. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll probably never hear anything about this game ever again. They're not going to make a second one of these.
I mean, even Phil was saying they're sticking with it.
He did say that in the interview, 100%. I will fixing what? I wish they would have followed up and they were time sensitive and you don't want to harp on it, blah blah blah. But like, what do you change? Like you'd have to just. This is the type of thing where you pull what game was it where they're just like, we're taking this game, the fighting game, Multiverses. It's like, yeah, we're going to take this game offline for a year. We'll see you then. We're going to change a bunch of shit. Yeah. Like that's what they would have to do to this to, I feel, make it,
like
something.
We were talking about this
playable.
Too. Like what would you have to do to make this game worth $70? That's the question.
So
and
much.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like, do you release a free DLC that actually adds cutscenes and and animations and stuff? Like there's so many fundamental things with the game that are not $70 of quality. It's like take Cyberpunk, for example, another kind of interesting tangent.
Right.
One of the reasons Cyberpunk sucked when it came out was because it was missing a lot of the stuff that was promised. It was horribly optimized. The CDPR pulled the wool over console players' eyes. Like there were all these issues.
Yeah.
But what's interesting with Cyberpunk is the core was still actually somewhat decent. Like the core of Cyberpunk was pretty good. And now they've spent the last 2 to 3 years like building up extra stuff and putting in more features and starting to add in the stuff that they said would be there. We got a big expansion around the corner. So it's like that it might work out in the long term. It might work out. We're gonna
I think
expansion isn't a pile of steaming stuff, but you know, it's definitely it's something that they can work with. It's clay they can still mold.
Yeah.
This is a little different. This is a different situation.
It's the different, like the tree trunk and the branches are fine with Cyberpunk. They just had to like trim off the dead leaves and get all that stuff, and then it had a chance to be better. But this one seems like it's rotten. It's got rotten the root. So
yeah. Well, I would go, Cohh, I don't know if you will, probably won't agree with this. I don't know if you would even, I don't know how you'll feel about it, but I feel like that's already there with Cyberpunk, right? Like they polished that. It's, and the expansion's only going to highlight
I haven't
that.
played it since release, which is one of the reasons I'm
I think it's
careful not to
there,
talk
dude.
about it. I am planning a big new playthrough of it before the expansion. Like
Yeah.
I played Cyberpunk 100% run, like almost before the first patch came out. And now I'm going to revisit it years later after it's been, I say this with double air quotes, fixed.
Yeah, I think it's
and I'm
there.
interested to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see if, I mean, people have been telling me every patch that the game keeps getting better and better. I'm interested to see that with my own eyes and give it a try. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
Yeah.
And apparently the next patch they're actually fixing the police system, which was one of my biggest
Yeah.
complaints in the original. So it's like,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
I would say it's good. Grant, I was watching a heavily modded playthrough of Strippins, but when I was watching,
I heard
this is
his
great.
playthrough was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I heard
Oh,
it was
and the overdrive mode is fucking crazy good looking. Like walking into the city
I may or may not have a computer on the way for that playthrough.
yeah, man.
I was like, if I'm gonna
it's
do it, I'm
very
gonna
good.
do it right. Like I've been slacking in the 4090 department, but
It's very
we're
good.
gonna give it the old college try here.
Yeah. Still has the same bugs though. On like, there's still a lot of, you still see a lot of the jank from release, right? Like that stuff still is there
yeah.
from time to time. So hopefully, the
Witcher
expansion-
3 still has some of that jank.
Yeah.
I mean,
games
yeah.
games have jank. There's jank in all
games can be janky.
Yeah.
Some jank never dies.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
you can fix bugs. You can patch in like FPS fixes, but
A lot of it.
man, it's hard to fix boring.
Yeah.
As we wrap up the Redfall sequence, I do want to. This is one of those magic times. I would like to give a shout out to our chats here. There's been a lot of like actually awesome discussion during this. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
job, guys. This is not the easiest topic to discuss at times, and it can become kind of emotional. So
Well, we
good
got
feedback all around.
you got lucky, Cohh. Next week, you're missing out on the Zelda combo.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna be unless we postpone the Zelda convo.
Hey,
We'll
little
have
bit
it
of a
again when
spoiler-
they're on the show.
Little bit of a spoiler here. I've said all of my negative piece on Zelda, and from what I'm hearing about the new one, like they address a lot of the issues I had with it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to giving the new one a try. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I may not have a whole lot of bad things to say about it.
We'll
I mean, it sounded kind of awesome.
We will see.
Looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, for those I should have mentioned, Cohh will not be here next week. I think we're gonna do a show. I'm
I'm going to be doing Mother's Day stuff that afternoon.
Yeah. So I'll get with Zeke after today's show. We'll either, I don't know if I want to
Yes.
subject Zeke to like a Zelda centric show.
This is all I'm going to say. Someone in chat said the weapon durability is still the same though. Yes.
It is.
But they have put in some additional mechanics to help alleviate that a bit. And I have looked into that, and I've heard that it's very positive.
Yeah.
Like they did. Nintendo stuck to their we're not going to change anything guns, but did maybe add in a little bit of a reprieve for those that had an issue with it. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll have to test it. We'll see.
The previews for that were pretty insane in terms of how I think every streamer will have a different playthrough in terms of how they approach problems within that game because of how you solve problems within that game in terms of like what type of thing are you going to construct. And that'll either turn people off a lot because you're going to be sitting there like manipulating a bunch of boxes and engines and that type of stuff. And if you don't want to do that, that's kind of like the crux of the game.
I'm wondering how that's going to work for casual playthroughs and casual players. Like for players that just don't want to deal with,
there's like
working with a bunch of
pre-builts.
pieces. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, there you can find. I think you can like happen upon semi pre-built stuff, and then you can just like
And you just like put a few things on and you're good to go.
Yeah, slot an engine on it or something like that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
It looks fascinating though. I watched Skill Up did a preview of it, and he built basically it's like a hang glider. Then he put an engine on the hang glider, and then he realized that the physics engine made it go like up and down like a hang glider. So he put another engine right below it. It was kind of fascinating to watch that type of stuff. So we'll discuss all that next week if we do a show. If not, it'll be in 2 weeks for that. But that'll wrap up our Redfall discussion. There's not much.
And
else to say.
last thing I'll say is it's going to be very interesting to see how they continue with this product. If slash how.
Do you think they do? I mean, Phil said they were going to like look at it, but is that?
I think they're going to fix it.
Okay.
I think they're going to fix it. I think they're going to fix the AI, and I think they're going to. There's still some pretty major multiplayer issues. I think they're going to do that at least, but I don't know if they're going to lean into it as much as they were publicly planning to. That I would say is pretty in the air.
After it got kind of panned review wise and all that stuff.
It got pretty like it's.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people want to put more money into a product that's been publicly destroyed, essentially. So it's gonna become a value issue for them.
If you SEO wise, if you Google just Redfall, top responses. Redfall is now one of the lowest rated Steam games of all time. Xbox Phil Spencer admits mistakes after Redfall disaster launch. That's from the Washington Post. Kotaku Xbox upset with myself over Redfall's terrible launch. Redfall is embarrassingly bad. Redfall reminds me different is good even if the game isn't. I don't know what that's a weird headline. What was the review for Skill Up was like one of the most damning things I've ever seen him put out. Was it? This is the word. Oh yeah. Redfall is an absolute catastrophe of a video game. Review.
That's the title?
That's the title of his video. Yeah.
There you go.
I still think he should have went with Turdfall.
It's pretty bad. ACG also, there was some issue with the embargo timing where it was 8 p.m. Eastern and people thought it was 8 a.m. Eastern. So 3 reviews got posted early. One of those was ACG's review, and his title was Redfall Review, one of the worst games I played so far in 2023. And so that like started the discussion Monday-ish afternoon of how people were going to respond to that. So kind of painted the narrative for the rest of that discussion. I think it was rough.
I'm frequently aligned with ACG on his reviews.
Yeah, he's great. Him and Skill Up both are great. Check him out if you have.
Speaking of broken games,
yeah, what are you playing?
I finally put down Jedi Survivor.
You put it down?
Oh yeah, put it
Couldn't
down.
do it anymore. I'm waiting.
FPS wise?
Yeah, it was enough. Like it's like that little tiny rock in your shoe.
Yeah,
like you barely notice it until you notice it, and then you keep noticing it and noticing it and noticing it, and you're like, you gotta stop and take the shoe off. Like that's what I did. I took my shoe off. Like I can't do it anymore. I gotta wait. And even they put out a patch, and I didn't really notice a difference on my PC setup, I guess.
Yeah. For me, I noticed a massive one, so that's why I continued on with it, because I was getting. There's a memory leak still, so like it starts out great. I get like 100 FPS on a fresh boot, and then after like 4 or 5 hours, it's like 50 to 70 range. Unless that's like outdoors. If I'm inside of a thing, then it's like 100. It's fine for most of the places. The second fog shows up, though, fuck the FPS. The FPS just drops whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever fog is present, it's like boop, boop. Drop the FPS.
Those force rifts or whatever, those little challenge places.
Yeah.
Like every time, like I was on a hard one, and every time like I had to restart it, it was just like,
That bad?
Then we start. Oh fuck.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad, but and I'm not putting it away forever, guys. Like for those like, oh shame, it's a really good game. Like I'm just waiting for them to fix it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want it to be smooth because I've seen how good it can be. Like there are certain sections of the game when it really cleans up
Totally.
and everything looks smooth, and it's like going from fucking VHS to Blu-ray. You're just like, oh shit, this is what it could be. And then it goes back to regular, and you're like, it's playable, but that was so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. There are a handful of mods, Zeke, if you are wanting to look into it, that people are saying they found success with, but I haven't messed with any of them.
Okay.
I blue screened my computer trying to do that.
Well, you were BIOS editing. That's a little bit more
And
than
to be
a mod.
fair, I created my own problems.
You
so.
did create your own problem last week.
Yeah, that was kind of on me.
Yeah.
No, I was sweating because you convinced me, Kohh, to try. Like I was looking for that that
rebar
switch. Yeah, that thing, the rebar thing. And you convinced me. It was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna update. I'm gonna flash my BIOS and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, before I do that, let me talk to Sitley, my IT guy. I was like, is that okay? He's like, it's usually pretty easy, but if you need me, I'll take you through it step by step. I'm like, okay, just hang on the line. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah, but I ended up doing it, but it
Didn't work. Didn't help that much.
It didn't work. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I continued on. I stopped. Me and Kohh were talking about it earlier. I'm at the literal final boss, like the checkpoint
Which we
right
cannot
before
say
him.
the name of.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention anything about. And I was like, I went through the same process for the first one where I have the same exact issues with the combat that I did with the first one, where like it's almost incredible, like it's almost really really good combat on the hardest difficulty. And that's the main caveat. I think on lower difficulties, like you can actually use a lot of the force abilities. On higher difficulties, if you like sit there and do anything that's not dodging, you're gonna just get hit and die. Like you can't take time in those fights.
It's a lot more punishing.
Yeah, you can't like sit there and do this shit because then they just kill you in the one-on-one combat. And so that's when I talk about like when I'm referring to issues with the combat. That's what I mean. And so I was very, very frustrated with it. And it was 8 p.m. last night. I did like 4 or 5 attempts. And I was like, if I continue forcing this, I'm going to finish this game and feel bad. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to when I'm fully rested. My hand is not fucking cramping because of RSI. Like we're going to play this game in a good, happy moment. And so I'll finish it after the show today. But up until that point, it was great. And I definitely got frustrated with some boss fights. I think Kohh did as well. I think most people that play that. Zeke, were you playing on the hardest difficulty?
There are some bosses on the hardest difficulty that will kick your ass.
Oh yeah. Yep. They have straight up one shots. No matter your HP,
it's like an Elden Ring fight that's really difficult. You have to learn all the animations. You have to learn all the combos. You have to learn where your openings are. And in learning where your openings are, every time you make a mistake in trying to find an opening, you will get punished.
Yeah.
In many cases, with a combo that will one-shot kill you.
Yeah.
In a flurry. So it's a tough game, dude.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
For sure.
By the way,
I gotta say, like, there was one boss. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna say there was one boss kicking my ass. And
main story boss or legendary beast.
I think it was an optional thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did like how I actually like was able to. It felt like they did it on purpose, so it didn't feel like a cheat because they give you these like elite guys to fight. You can you can do the force thing where you're like, you're on my side, fight for me.
Yeah.
And I just got those guys to like. It felt really good to like find a workaround for that one little place.
Totally. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff like that. I didn't, Kohh, I'm curious for you and also for Zeke, if you have, with the amount of game that you played, I didn't put any points into confusion. And apparently confusion is like the most broken thing in that game.
The first thing I put points in, I'm not kidding you. I have been playing for a little bit. I'm almost like I've done everything I can on the first, after the second planet, I guess, the first planet you start on, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've done almost everything I could, and I still have not put a single point in any saber skills. It's all been in force skills because I want to be a space wizard.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that fucking control, I'm just like, you fight him. Now you fight him.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is great. Oh, big beast coming at me. Here, let me just put you over a cliff and blah. Bye. It's fucking great.
Yeah, my fights are not like that. My fights are just like, oh shit, get the fuck, oh fucking dodge, oh shit, fucking dodge, oh god, we'll try to, oh god, he hit me, I'm dead.
Yeah, my fights are like that with no jumping around.
Yeah, I jump around a lot. You saw yesterday when you were watching.
I was tuned in, and I was not aware that you could jump that much.
I look like
fight,
fucking Yoda.
You do. You look like freaking Yoda from exactly. Yep. Oh my lord, dude. But yeah, no, I actually respect all the time. I
never
started dual saber because I dual sabered because of the breakout of like, and this is one of my biggest issues with the game. I hate that only one of the 5 things has an animation break.
I didn't even know that till last night. Dude.
Drives me crazy.
Someone told me that, and I was like, "What?"
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's useful, but at the same time, it's not necessary.
So, what is it? Does it interrupt? Can you explain like how it works with the dual sabers?
Anytime you're doing a normal X attack, if you hit block, he will stop his animation and block. You can also parry out of your normal attacks, which of course sounds like, oh, well, that's what I have to do then. That's all I have to do. But even then, it's not quite like it has its disadvantages as well. It's arguably, even though it says it's high damage, the chip damage is a lot weaker. I bounced around. I was dual sabers for a long time, and then went to range saber, and then actually beat the game with crossguard. So I was kind of all over the map, and a little bit of single too. But the thing that drove me crazy about the game, and I talk about this, I did a thoughts video for this one too. The game is like the first game's combat was okay. It kind of got the job done. And the second game's combat is trying to evolve that, but the way that they're evolving it, like you can tell they're trying to do some stuff in different directions, and it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to have like the speed and kind of action of a DMC, but at the same time, there's a lot of like slower Souls-like mechanics in there, like the animation stuff, and only having one stance that breaks guard. And it's kind of, you can't dodge out of almost any attacks, which is like super weird considering how often the enemies have like flashing red attacks. Like there's all sorts of decisions that are just kind of not the smoothest for their combat.
Totally agree.
And a lot of it just doesn't make sense as like a super agile Jedi with a sword that almost weighs nothing. And you're saying you have to commit to like light attacks and stuff. Like it's just, there's just no, it doesn't flow well. It doesn't flow well. What I will say is that I'm hoping as we evolve to the next game, I hope Cal figures out how to do this properly, and they make it so like all the stances you can block out of, most of the stances you can also dodge out of, and then maybe make it for like, so 2-hand and dual saber, like maybe having, or 2-hand, like maybe you can't dodge out of attacks with dual saber. Instead of having it so only one stance can do like one little animation cancel, have it so all of them can do some form of animation cancel, and then maybe make it so like the most damaging ones have some disadvantages. But it was really strange because for the first like 60+% of the game, I felt completely locked to dual saber because I was like, this is more fun to play than the other stances. It is more fun to be able to cancel out of stuff because you don't have to constantly be, worrying about committing or your camera not lining up or you swinging at the wrong target or something, which are all like actual problems. So it's weird. And I feel like they're trying to do something with the system, and they're trying to take it like to be like other games, to put it bluntly. They're trying to do things to make it feel like other games, and they're just not quite committing hard enough. And they have this kind of hodgepodge system that doesn't flow very well, which is again unfortunate because when you watch people with lightsabers fight, it's such an awesome flow. Like if any system should work and be fluid, it's lightsaber fighting. So I'm really hoping in the next game they kind of, I feel like they're trying to do the DMC thing, and I feel like they need to commit to the DMC thing, the more Sekiro thing. Let everyone parry out of attacks. Let everyone dodge out of attacks. Let it be smooth, and add difficulties in other ways. So that way, when you do get hit, because you get it out of an animation, it's not that, oh man, this sucks. I can't believe that happened. It's more, it's more like, oh, that was my bad. I misdodged or I mistimed or something like that. Instead of that frustrating, like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why are you doing that? You know, it's like, it's just weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I think even outside of, it's kind of weird. There's like I don't know what the terminology for. I feel like whenever the first game came out, I was saying pretty much everything you just said, and I got destroyed for saying that. So this like 6 years of just washing over me, it's just like, that feels good. Like, oh man, I actually,
Oh yeah.
but
I think maybe it's just because the second one it's more enunciated. Like you can,
Maybe,
especially
yeah.
with like the different stances and stuff. Like that you can tell they're trying to take it somewhere, but the train's not quite to the next station yet.
For
Like,
me, like I was bitching about
I
it
haven't
yesterday.
played.
I was gonna say, Zeke, I was bitching about it yesterday. The most frustrating part of any of the fights for me is when it's like a multi-staged fight. It's not the cutscenes, it's before a cutscene and after a cutscene. The boss will have a combo. It'll be practically the same combo. Before the cutscene, if you hit him, he stops the combo. After the cutscene, they give him super armor so that he just completely doesn't care what the fuck you're doing to him and continues with the attack. And I was losing my mind, dude. I was flipping the fuck out.
there is a particular
Remember the lesson
fight.
you learned from the first part?
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
all
dude.
that.
Dude,
You'll
that's
get
exact. There's zero visual cue. It's just like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a thing. You
There
got to
is
know
a
that.
particular fight where the enemy you're fighting was not sat down by the devs and explained to them how the endurance bar works.
Yes.
Because his endurance bar will be empty. And he'll just
Yes.
be like, woo-doo-doo, woo-doo-doo. And you're sitting there hitting him like, I just got to hit you because your endurance is down. It'll interrupt you like every other enemy. And he's like, nope, didn't get that memo. And he just like keeps going. And you're like, because while you're trying to hit him to stop him, because he has zero endurance, like every other mob in the game, he's just sitting there like, nope, 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 nope. And he kills you. He'll kill you if you try to do it. So it's like, it takes away any, the whole point is you're supposed to be aggressive. You get their endurance bar down and you can get that one combo off to get that big chunk of life off. This guy's just like, nope, you, and just like starts like, oh my God, man.
Yeah, dude.
It was infuriating. Let the anger flow through me. I am.
Dude.
I actually just turned my lightsaber red.
I popped off.
Yeah.
There was 2 moments of like that I hadn't experienced. I was talking with one of the mods yesterday. I hadn't experienced rage like that in a pretty long time. And I was like, whoa, I like went to a dark place just now. Holy shit. And so the next death,
boy Cal, man.
the next death I had like
deep.
a 1% boss HP, and I just put the controller down and I just walked upstairs and like, I'm gonna get a drink. I'm gonna get some food. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I didn't say
my
anything.
God.
I just calmly put my controller down and walked upstairs, came back, beat it on the next try. Right after I ate all the food, I was great. I beat on the next try. But yeah, man, that 1% death pissed me off, man. I was livid. I was so upset.
Chesticles McGee said, man, if Cohh and JP were raging, I can only imagine what Zeke was going through. Funny thing is, I didn't. I went a completely different tack. I barely used my lightsaber if necessary.
I will also
It's just
say,
like some bosses you have to, but for the most part, like I mean, I don't like the system like they were saying.
yeah,
Like I don't like, because I'm using the double bladed or the bow staff.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the bow staff one. And I do that, but the animations are so long that you just get fucking wrecked.
totally.
So
Versus boss, yeah.
the only the thing that I like figured out to do is like don't toe to toe with them like I did in the first game, because the first game it felt crisp and clean, more so than this one. And I played that on the same difficulty. This one seems like a little bit more messy, like they were saying. So I'm just like force pushing, slice when I can, force push, slice when I can, force pull, like doing all that shit. Like, no, I'm not like trying to parry or block or anything like that. I try like when it gets too, hectic.
Yeah.
But like more often than not, I'm trying to find ways to not sword fight and magic fight.
Right. I would say, Zeke, Koa, jump in and tell me your opinion on this too. I think the first 60% of the game is like easier is I think the best way to put it. And then there's like one boss fight where the difficulty ramps, and then the fight after that, it like goes to the fucking skyscraper. Might even be the hardest fight in the game. And I don't know if you got to that stuff yet, Zeke. That's the ones that like made me rage. Were those two fights in particular.
This is a game
I'll
of
tell you
walls.
one. The one in the thing in the shop.
The thing in
I'll
the
just
shop.
say, yeah, in the big lady shop, she's got.
I know who you're talking about, but she's got a fight.
Yeah. There's a rift there, right?
Yeah, I bailed the fuck out of that immediately. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I walked in and I went, no.
Yes. Dude, some of those fights are
because
crazy.
I just got done doing the other one. And I'm like, that was hard enough.
I skipped most of those. Like, Cohh, did you do any of those like super crazy fucking legendary beast fights?
Not the crazy ones. I definitely did a few of the rifts, but like they were the kill 150 guys.
Yeah, those were fine. Yeah,
the running ones are awesome.
The running ones
like,
are the best stuff in the game.
Oh, I love
Right?
that stuff.
Those are so
Hardcore is fucking great.
Turns out the
Yeah, I love
Titanfall devs know how to make a running level. Like, it was fucking
fun.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are great.
Another
No, I
reason why I put it away, because the fucking goddamn parkour is so fun, but it's taken down a notch, several notches by not being solid FPS all the way
yeah,
down.
Dude,
100% I agree.
Doing that at perfect frame rate is difficult enough, especially some of those challenge ones.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the one with the zip bars and having to like jump through the. Oh man, that one was tough.
Totally.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's definitely there's more than a few that I just didn't like slight spoilers. But I mean, this isn't not really a spoiler, but I zoned into one that was 2 rancors, and they just made a mockery of my face in every way, shape, and form. Like there was nothing. I fought one rancor in a different area later, and it was tough, but I got him down. The idea of like doing 2 of those at once, oh man, woo, yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. I ignored most of that, if not all of that. I would just like poke my head in. Shit.
Yeah.
Just like leave immediately, because that stuff's. I've seen a lot of the. I think Anthony Kong fan is someone that was like doing those, and it was.
Yeah.
He had a tweet where he's just like,
There was,
man, fuck this. You guys got to fix this type of shit.
I heard there was a
Yeah.
Polish streamer who was working on the frog fight for like
30
hours straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 hours straight.
That's wild.
Of one fight. That is
A lot.
significantly more time than I would say average people spend on entire games.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
I don't even know
So
if
I've heard mixed.
beat it.
I don't know. I heard about it. I don't know
I've
if
heard
he beat
mixed things about the PS5, the console version.
it. Uh-huh.
Like I've heard it's way better. I've heard it's not not there yet or whatever.
Yeah.
Do we have like a final word on that?
I think
Have you
it's.
heard?
I heard it's okay, which is, I guess, the middle of what you just said. So I don't know if that helps you at all. But yeah, I've heard that it's like, I know they put out a patch the day after the PC patch, and it was like okay. People in chat are saying PS5 is smooth. PS5 version is better. Still not smooth though.
Yeah, PC is. I heard it was like what somebody in my chat said it was like a 5 to 15% based on your system. It was by no means a night and day difference. It's not like they fixed performance in the patch.
They
some
did
people
fix
still having issues.
for me. This is a very me thing. I
Yeah.
don't have that load stutter anymore. I never got that again
Oh.
after that patch.
That's cool.
And so that for me was like all right, I'm gonna play this type deal. Combat aside, by the way, and not spoiling anything, but like I love the story of this game. I think this is like some of the. I'm very excited to see what happens at the end later today, and I'm very excited if they do a third one of these because I absolutely love the story and where it's gone. It's been an absolute blast going through all that. And I think the reason that I'm still playing it on the hardest difficulty is because of the story. If the story was at all like in a lesser form, I would have put it down to a much easier difficulty. But I'm enjoying it a lot more than the first one for sure as well. They just do a lot of cool stuff with it, and it's good. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
I
completely agree.
And all that.
I think it's fantastic. With outside of the performance and technical issues, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and say the combat design issues. I do feel that there were some
think that's
actual
safe, yeah.
design decision making issues with the combat, which I hope they rectify in the next one because there has to be a next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's dude. The side characters are better. I enjoyed the main story better than the first one. There were many more climactic moments in the second one. They did just as well a job with the set pieces. The enemy variety
Yeah.
is fun. Like it's a great Star Wars game. I mean, it's an absolutely worthy addition to the Star Wars Jedi franchise.
Yep.
And definitely has me like, yo, when's the next one coming
When's
out?
the next one? Yeah. Yeah.
When's the next one? Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they fixed the FPS stuff. It would. I don't see why it wouldn't be on my like top 10 for sure at this point. Even with the stacked year, I enjoyed the game that much. Even with the super frustrating difficulty, which in the past has kind of altered my mood towards games. This one is not. So very curious for the ending. Although I don't think anything crazy is going to happen, but very curious for it regardless. And I hope they patch it, Zeke, so that you can go back and play it because
I really do
it's
too.
worth it. I want
like-
everyone else to play it as well. It's worth it.
Dude, like I said, it's like in certain parts, like you get a glimpse of how smooth and glorious it can be, and it's just like it's crazy, like the difference, and that's what like you have that in your mind, you're like it could be this, and I remember it wasn't for very long. It was like in a world or in a part of the world that I was on with almost nothing in it, nobody around.
Yeah.
But I was running like and then it was just like fucking Dorothy going into Oz and it's all color and I'm just like it's smooth. And I just like ran around in circles for a second. I was like, oh my God, this is what it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they're able to. The first one, Code, you replayed that first one, right? After like
Yep.
recently. Was it fine performance wise?
It's fine.
They patched it and got it all because it launched with some issues as well, if I recall correctly.
I don't think it was like this.
It wasn't as bad.
If it
Okay.
if it had issues, I don't think it was quite like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they patch it up. It's good. Maybe we'll do some spoiler talk once Zeke finishes it up in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, as people are saying in chat, it had like some very mild stuttering. But it was not like
The first one?
I wouldn't but I wouldn't say it was like the performance issues we saw with the second one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Different stuff.
I wonder how much of that. I don't know if any of us can speak to it, but I do wonder how much of that is like the engine, because the first one was the same engine, right? It's all the.
UE4.
Is it all UE4? It's not. It has nothing to do with. God, what is the Battlefield engine that they use? It's not Frostbite, right? It's all UE4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat's saying it's all UE4. Got it. I wonder if they would ever bump up to UE5 for the next one. That'd be kind of interesting. You can make a pretty fucking Star Wars game. I think this game in moments is very gorgeous. Like they knock it out of the park with that type of stuff. So, what else do we got? Zeke, what have you been playing? On stream, I should say. What have you been playing on stream?
Well, let's. You know what? Something I talked about last week. We can talk about with Cohh. Bramble. You play Bramble, Cohh.
I did. I played Bramble this morning.
Tell me about it.
It
dude.
was
What
so
do you
short.
think?
I didn't see that. Yeah. What'd you think? Cohh?
Bramble is a game I declined to make a thoughts video on it because it is one of those games that you kind of just need to experience. In fact, like I don't want to talk anything about the story or what it is. What I will say is that Bramble is an adult game, no matter what you think. No matter how it feels for the first bit of the game, it is an adult game with adult themes, and it is. And I don't think I could have said it better than how Zeke said it. It is a feast for the eyes and ears. It is a beautiful game. It is well animated. There is beautiful music, and the events that happen in it are 100% worth the just under 4 hours it takes to complete. It is an experience. And the ending crescendo was like goosebumps. It was it's a very cool game.
Yeah.
That's literally all I want to say about it. I don't want to say anything else. It's like you got to play it.
It speaks to the game's quality because the game is $30 and it's relatively short. It's, I obviously Cohh said it's under 4 hours. Like I played like 5.5 or something like that. But yeah, it's $30 for relatively short experience, and still on Steam, overwhelmingly 97% positive.
Damn.
That speaks to the quality of the game, like the effort and time and the immersion and everything, the light, the shadows, the audio, everything is just perfect. It's just wonderfully done.
It's one of those types of situations where you have to take the price of the game and how many hours you put in, and you have to ask yourself, for the amount of money I spent per hour, is the quality level and what this game gave me worth that value? And for this game, I can absolutely say for me it was. Like this was absolutely worth, like, what was it for me? Like almost $6 an hour. Like absolutely. 4 hours at $30, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
It's
God,
like
math. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, no,
It's
$8
like
bucks.
$1 billion, I
It's
think.
like definitely $11 an hour. It's definitely 11.
Certain
Like
movies you go to
it's like between $7.5 $8 an hour. But it was worth it. It was really, really 7.5 on the dot. Yeah. Anyway, it's at $7.50 an hour. It is worth every penny. It's really good. It's really good.
Certain movies you go to the theater for, you pay the extra to go to the theater for. And you're happy you did it a lot of times. Like I pick, you pick the movies like, this is a theater movie. I want to see it in a fucking theater.
Yeah.
And you do, and you're like, yeah, this is one of those. Like, fuck yeah, it is worth it for the experience.
Did I ask you last week, Zeke, does it have like, where are we at in the jump scare? Like, is it just a creepy thing, or
there's
no jump scares? It's just kind of like an eerie creepiness to it.
I mean, there's a couple, but it's not like jump scares. It's not like meant to scare you. It's more meant to like startle you.
There's like Jedi had some jump scares. Okay, that's where I'm at with what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the camouflage thing?
Yeah, that stuff,
yeah, okay.
or like the guys that will hide behind a rock. And there's a couple like jump scares in Jedi. So I think we have a different.
I think we have a different definition of jump scare.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's not a scary. It's not a scary game. It's an atmospheric, weird game. There's times where you will make different faces out of the things you see, but none of them are like of horror and scaredness. It's just like,
okay.
I would say it's more.
Might add it to the list.
Prolonged. A lot of areas have prolonged sense of suspense or a little bit of terror. You're just like, not. It's not like, ha, I'm gonna get you. It's more like something's on its way to you. You're like, oh fuck, I better go.
Okay.
And it is definitely not like cheap jump scare game. Like, it is not that style of game.
Cool.
At all.
Yeah, I might check it out. I was somewhat sold on it last week. Now to hear both of y'all are talking about it in that way, we might add it to a list for sure. That's old Bramble the Mountain King. I don't know if we said the name multiple times in there, but Bramble the Mountain King is what we were just talking about.
Based on Nordic folklore.
Yes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nordic folklore.
Nordic. Yep.
Nordic. Yes.
I learned the difference between Norse and Nordic. I thought they were synonymous. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah. I am so curious about this, Zeke. How was Lost Odyssey?
Oh yeah, Lost Odyssey. This was okay. First of all, right off the top, I gotta say one more big apology to Austin TKD, because his 100-month game day got bumped twice. Once because I was like, oh shit, I forgot, right? And the next time was like, I got early access to Star Wars, so I'm sorry, but I didn't think I was gonna get it, and I did.
It happens.
Anyway, so quick apology. Thank you very much for understanding. But Lost Odyssey. This is, I want to say this is I really want to go back to this at some point.
Really?
The problem with it is it's super long. Like it's a JRPG long, like 60 to 80 hours.
It's
a
a very long game, yeah.
for that. And especially for me, I make things so much longer all the time. So Lost Odyssey, first of all, I cannot, after playing it for a stream, I cannot fucking believe this game did not get a re-release or anything like that. Not even a remaster, just a re-release on other like systems. Like it was a fucking hassle to get it.
Yeah.
Like I had to
think
get
it's a
it on the
licensing
Windows.
thing.
Oh, probably. I forget about that shit. Yeah. I just think like, is it not quality enough? It's like, no, there's money involved. Like, oh, I always forget that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had to get it on the Windows Store and then install it on I had to like break out. Never been used. I've got
Nice.
the Xbox One came with the Division, the first Division.
Never been used. Like no one's ever used that console, right? Like that's.
Yeah, no. I had to.
No,
when
ever
I
played the
in,
Xbox One, right? Like you're the first to ever play that console.
Yes,
You got
yes,
it.
I am. I'm the first to ever play an Xbox One, and let me tell you, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I've had that console for a while, and I never broke it out. Finally, I broke it out, and I had to do like an hour and a half, 2 hours of fucking updates, of course.
Of course.
Right when you plug it in, it's like Xbox is gonna update this shit, and we're gonna take forever. So,
Yeah.
Oh, also, God, the fucking load times, like just to get the system going, is drastically longer than the fucking
No
PlayStation.
SSD, man. People forget. Yeah. And this game. This game is plagued by load times as well. Yeah. The PS4 and Xbox Series X were the first, or sorry, PS5 and Xbox Series X were the first consoles with SSD tech. That was like the big jump.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Anyway, so I finally eventually got it running, and it is awesome. It's a really, really good JRPG. Not only because the battle system is interactive. It's one of those like JRPGs turn-based, but during your person's turn, you do stuff. Like there's the circle that closes in. You have to like get it perfectly, and then you do more damage and stuff like that. So it keeps you, keeps you playing. You have to like pay attention sometimes.
Right.
It is there's a complex-ish system of like immortals and mortals. Like you have to learn immortals cannot level up. They have to level up, or they have to learn new skills and stuff by like basically like having a mortal like sit down and go, okay, this is how I do it. They don't do that, but that's how I picture it in my head. Is like mortals come and tell you like, this is how you use the potty, and like, oh, let me write that down.
Yeah.
But you eventually get all the skills that the mortals around you have after you battle with them slotted or whatever. So that was a neat system, and you also get skills from the items you discover, items you wear, and stuff like that, and they become your like skill set. Like you learn like the black and white magic spells. You learn like steel skill. You learn guard skills and all this kind of stuff from people and items that you pick up throughout. And I thought that's a neat idea that I didn't have a lot of experience with. I'm not sure if that's old hat now, but it was pretty neat. I also like getting to like the main parts, like the battle parts. Good. They were fun.
Did you get to the
nothing like really super exciting? The thing that go ahead.
Did you get to the first boss on the tower?
I think so.
First boss is, I feel like the game is whatever, and then you hit that first boss, and then it's like, oh my god, this game's fucking hard. And like it doesn't. All the bosses after that are extremely difficult, unless you're like severely overleveled.
Oh, are you talking about the worm one with the ads?
I'm talking about the guy at the top of the tower.
Maybe not then.
Okay, it's like 6 or 7 hours, I think, and it's a decent chunk of the way in.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, the thing I like most about the game is the writing, the localization. and the dialogue is great. The characters are fun. They're tropey or they're caricatures. They're like, oh, we got this guy, the smart ass drunkard women swiving, guy.
Yeah.
And he says like smart assy things all the time. And he's also like, do we have to? Like that, he's that dude.
Yeah, Jansen sucks.
Yeah, and then you got your fucking the main character Kime, like out like him just speaking like is very Geralt, like, no, okay, I'll go. Like for now, like I haven't delved into it that far.
He's basically Cloud, right? Like amnesia soldier type dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of archetypes.
But like
in this.
I was like, does he ever talk? And then like the first time I remember him talking, someone's like, blah 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 blah. No. And that was it. I was like, wow. Shut up, dude. You're overdoing it.
I mean, he's pretty depressed. He's got a lot of reasons to be depressed, right? Like,
now, that's what I wanted to get into that real quick. The main reason that I did not expect, I had no idea. The dreams. Yeah. The dreams are little, you don't have a memory, right? And the memories come back to you in dreams. You're immortal. So you've been around it. Kime, the main character, is immortal. He's been around a long fucking time. And he gets memories back through these dreams. Now, I read one, or I started reading one, and I was like, wow, this is really long. And then I read it. And then I read it. And it was like 10, 15 minutes of reading. And by the end of it, I was like, holy shit. That is some of the best writing in a video game. Like little like short story.
Yeah.
One of the best short stories in any video game ever. And they just, I think I got to 3 of them. And I think there's 30 something in the game. But they are such wonderfully told and translated, I guess. Rumor has it from the wiki, I guess, that the translation from Japanese was done by like a Harvard professor, and he beautified the language like wonderfully well.
Yeah.
The last story I read had me like, I had to stop twice because I was choking up. I was tearing up because it was so like poignant, and the struggles of someone who is immortal and in a world of mortals, and seeing people later on in their lives and having to watch them get old and die sometimes, stuff like that. Like it's just told from a point of view that is so like, gut wrenching. It was so good. Like, the story was the upstreamers. If you want to look it up, I think the transcript is on like a fan gamer site or something.
Sure.
It's a really good short story, and it really like it touched me. I wasn't expecting it to be so good and worth reading, because it has almost nothing to do with the plot of the story you're in now. It's just stuff that the main character has lived through previously. It's just, they're just so well done. I was like,
it sets
what
up
the fuck is going on here? I can't believe this is doing.
They're very good. Yeah. Yeah. This was the Lost Odyssey. This and Blue Dragon came out during the 360 era. And both of those games were very much targeted for the Japanese audience to be interested in the Xbox, right? Like they had a massive, massive push because in Japan, kind of true. It is true, I think, to this day. No one gives a fuck about the Xbox, right? Like it's all PlayStation and Nintendo. And so they specifically had these 2 games for that market. And I want to say, like, was it Sakaguchi somehow? And that's terrible pronunciation. I apologize, but I think he was involved in this somehow. And Blue Dragon was the Dragon Ball Z artist, or he was on both. Okay, yeah, they had like and Umatsu is the music. Okay, yeah, they had some massive, massive names on it. There was a lot of money in all this stuff. So it's a very good game, but it's kind of slow. It's incredibly depressing, especially if you're reading those stories, because they are. You're right. Like it's about the idea of an immortal, like dealing with death and like having, what's that like? Someone in my chat said that the writer Sakaguchi had his mom or father, not sure which, die right before this game, and so that's where like all of the process of writing came from. And that makes a lot of sense.
I made a comment like that when I was reading one of them. It's like, did someone experience like a tragedy like
Yeah.
before writing some of this stuff? It's it's sad, it's poignant, but it's really good. I mean, I wouldn't use the word depressing, but because depressing is like, it's a downer. This one is more like
somber.
Yeah, it gets you, but you cry in a good way, kind of a thing. Like the story is sad, but you're better for having read it,
Yeah. Yeah. This also shipped. This also came out on 360 in 4 disc, which I think you might, if you.
Yeah.
It's got 4 disc, which is wild.
Yeah.
I forgot why I think because the cutscenes were like 1080 and they were on. Was the 360 CDs? They didn't have DVD drives. They had CD drives. I think it's so they were limited.
Like that, yeah.
They were like limited on to what 800 MB or it was an HD DVD. It was DVD.
Something like that.
So that means it's 8 gigs per DVD.
We had this actual discussion. It was 4 gigs on 4 discs. So it's like the game itself was like around 16 gigabytes or something like that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Full dual layer DVD. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's a good game. I do. Hope
it's definitely a game that if there's like a big like plot of land in the landscape of the year, like I would love to plunk that down in there because it's just really, really good. And it plays well. I have no complaints. Oh shit. The overworld, like I need to keep reiterating this.
Let me find it.
The movement speed on the overworld is fast.
Yeah.
It is very fast and good and fun.
Like
it looks a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yes, it looks a little ridiculous,
nice.
but I don't care. The fact that you move fast is so goddamn nice.
You do zoom.
Please,
really
just
nice.
I don't care if it looks ridiculous. Let me move fast on the overworld with every game. Please.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, but the combat's fun. Like learning the boss fights fun. There's a little bit of element switching. Like rock beats paper, paper beats scissors, scissors beats Spock, whatever. So there's a little bit of that. One of the cool things is you can change equipment in the middle of a fight. So if you're like, oh shit, this guy's a water guy, I'm gonna put on my lightning gear or my wind gear or whatever it is. I don't remember what the weakness is. But like, yeah, you put on like the ring and you imbue your sword with fire or whatever, and you can just change in the middle of battle. You don't have to like save quit out or whatever.
Yep.
That's really nice that you can do that. But yeah, I know I did face one boss, and it seems like I got to toot my own horn here because there was more than a few people who had played this game. They're like, oh, he's coming in this guy. Well, get ready for wait, one shot? Are you kidding? He did it one try? And I was like, fuck, man, I played JRPGs before. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Was that the worm?
But in all honesty, there was a
worm.
little bit of luck in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You can do the
getting
timing
once
on the
I got
combat.
the rhythm down for the ring thing.
Yeah.
I almost stopped completely looking at the circle. I just hear it now. It's just release. Release.
Yep.
Like that's what I know when to do it. And I've gotten I think I got like 5 or 6 perfects in a row one time. I was like, I got this shit now. It's great.
It's a good game.
Glad they give you an audio cue, man.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun one. It's long though. You were right when you're talking about how long it is. This game goes for a while. It's
but like it's very interesting characters. They are a little caricatures of what the stoic hero, the bumbling smart ass, the tough capable sidekick, that kind of stuff. Like that's all in there. But it's it's an interesting story in a fantasy world, and I would love to plunk down a week or 2, I guess.
Probably be 2
to get it done.
Yeah, with your rate of playing games, probably be about 2, I would think. So cool.
But
Well,
if you've
now-
never played it, like, and you like JRPGs, like, it's really, really good.
Well, here's the thing.
I would
Zeke.
rate it in like the top echelon of JRPGs.
The faster that you finish it, the sooner it'll be re-released on PC Game Pass. So please,
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
please do a playthrough
In
so that
2
all of
months
us.
or 3, you're welcome.
I mean,
just gonna
look.
say it now.
Next month is they got a big event around a week that we used to call E3, you know, and they might make some announcements there. So playthrough can start whenever you'd like, just so we can get that at least on PC Game Pass. Be great.
Now I don't know. I got it on Xbox One. Is it something you can get on like digital download on Xbox S or S?
I don't
X or
believe.
S?
I don't. Maybe I'm gonna wait for chat because I don't think you can, but we'll see what chat says here. Yes, you can get it digitally. You can play it on X and S. You bought mine on Xbox. Okay, so yeah, I guess you can.
Okay.
I don't think it's on Game Pass, but you can like buy it digitally. So
Yeah, if you got that's how I bought it. I bought it in the Windows store, the Microsoft Windows store.
Yeah.
Not the Xbox app on my PC, which would have been nice. Nope. I bought it on the Windows store. And I was like, great, I can play it. Like, here's instruction for playing it on your Xbox One. I'm like, say what now?
Oh man, yeah. This and I don't think Blue Dragon. I think Blue Dragon's stuck in whatever that is, just like this. And those games came out around the same time. I never finished Blue Dragon. This is the one that I played of the two. I think I rented Blue Dragon, but it was too long of a game to finish. So I'm glad you're potentially doing a full playthrough of it.
Yeah,
if
man.
there is such a thing. It's great.
Yeah.
That's Lost Odyssey. I guess we can. I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If we're talking JRPGs, Cohh. I'm done with it.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I got to know, what specifically did you not like about that? Like, we can put up spoiler tags if you'd like, because I was fine with it for the most part.
Yeah, I thought that they left too many without spoiling. They left too many ends open, and they kind of like played up to some things happening that then didn't happen. And I just wanted a lot more finality. It felt like it was half an ending. It felt like it was half an ending. But I've heard the DLC kind of directly addresses that.
Did you watch the trailer for the DLC? Okay, because that was the first thing I did after finishing it last night. I had specifically not watched it for spoiler purposes. In the 2-minute trailer, I was like, well, fuck, I got to play that. Like they've got everything wrapped up.
I will probably play it eventually.
Yeah.
I will probably play the trailer event.
It's like 20, 30 hours, I think, for the DLC. So, yeah,
I'll probably just fire it up to story mode and like run through it.
Yeah.
Just to get the story done and everything.
The best change that I was told about from like a gameplay perspective for the DLC is, you know how when you go into chain attack, it would start that fucking stupid music and it would like kill the boss battle? They got rid of that. It stays with the original music now of the fights. And so apparently that is the most welcome change for the DLC. It kind of did that at the end as well for a lot of the main big fights. I will say the final boss in that fight was long. Like that was like, I think I started it at midnight. I was like, I'll be done in like 30 minutes. Credits rolled at 2 a.m.
Yep.
I was just like, God damn it, I would be so tired tomorrow. It was a very, very long fight, but it was good. I'm glad I went back and played. I got to play the DLC now eventually, but
yeah,
I've
heard pretty much nothing but good things about the DLC.
Same.
So that's excellent to hear.
Yeah. Clocked in at, I think it was 63 hours for my playthrough. Very little side stuff. On normal, one of my other big complaints about the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was the difficulty is just so weird, because like
it's all over the place.
Normal is like too easy, and hard is like the fucking hardest.
Hard is like
thing.
you have to do every single thing in the world.
Yeah.
And the thing about hard that kind of drove me crazy is a lot of it is not it's not really a skill-based difficulty system.
Yeah.
It's a completion-based difficulty system, which is cool if you have 120 hours to kill.
Right.
Like that's awesome, and I do like that. You know, I think for
like stat
for gamers,
based.
yeah, for gamers that that have the time and love the franchise, it's cool to think that they can do side stuff and have it meaningfully impact their character and not just make the main story easy, right? But yeah, so it's it definitely needs a middle difficulty.
I agree.
Like it needs something that's a bit more skill based instead of just stat based.
Yeah. On in the first playthrough, because we didn't know any better, I think we both messed around with the level up at the campfire thing, and you can very easily over level the game. And so when I did my second playthrough, I didn't do any of the like level up at campfire thing. And I was at probably the second to last campfire in the entire game last night. And I was like, I wonder, because I didn't do it at all. I was like, I wonder how much like XP I've got saved up at this point. And in that menu, you can level up each individual character, or if you press plus, it says level up all or something like that. And so I was expecting to press plus and it would level up once, or it would select how many levels. I pressed plus and I jumped 17 levels on every character. And the rest of the game was just like kind of a joke. Like it didn't, there's no confirmation. It was just like, oh, instantly here's 17 levels. And now you have like 1,000 more HP on everyone and like 80 more attack on it. Yeah. So the rest, the end of the game was kind of I didn't have spoilers. Trying to think how to say this. My character archetypes were not great, if that makes sense. And so I had 2 healers and an attacker and 3 DPS on the other set, and it didn't matter. So yeah. And it was a one shot, so it's good. I gotta play the DLC though. We'll have to both play that and circle around to it at some point. Maybe July, I guess, would probably be the best time for it. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Zeke, welcome back. What else have you been playing?
Thanks.
Anything else?
Well, I had Indie Day.
Yeah. Any winners?
Actually, there was a couple of winners. The first one I played was Q Remastered.
Okay.
And apparently this was a game that was released like November-ish of last year on, I don't remember what platform, but it just released on Steam on May 1st. And this is, you ever played Scribblenauts?
Yeah,
It's not like
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny bit like that.
Okay.
In that you draw shapes and there's a 1,200 missions, I guess, in the game, but there's an IQ test that has like 20. And that's what I ended up doing was the IQ test of 20 specific challenges. And basically it's, you look at the rules at the top, put your drawing into the beaker, but you can't draw into the blue area. So this was the first one. The first challenge was, how do I get something from one side to the other side without drawing there? So this became a theme. Circles and ramps, circles and ramps, circles and ramps. And there you go. 3, 2, 1. And your IQ. That's what they give you points. Now, how they do the points is how many lines did you need to draw? One shape is considered one line. So once you like draw a shape and you let go of click, that the gravity takes effect and it drops into place or stuff happens. That one, I think the highest you can get is one. I want to say it's 130 is the highest you can get, like IQ of 130.
Okay.
And that one got 100 because I drew 2 shapes.
Oh.
I drew the ramp shape and the circle shape. So I lost points for that. So the idea is complete the goal with as a few shapes as possible. But it's just a really fun, like, brain teasery kind of a game. And you can like keep building stuff as the game, like, so once you like gravity takes over and you're done drawing your shapes, you can still draw shapes as it's going, as things are moving, in order to complete the goal if you want to. And it's you know, thinking about how levers work, how physics works, how, like, if I put a teeter-totter thing here, I'm gonna pop this up and make this go over here, stuff like that. And then you go, it's way simpler than that. And you draw like one shape and you're like, oh fuck, I'm done. I did it. You know, you can make these weird Rube Goldberg like contraptions and stuff, or you can just like, oh, this is way easier than I was making it. The last puzzle, the puzzle number 20, at the very, like, I did it, I came back to it at the end of the stream because I had like an hour left after, you know, quitting the last game. When I'm going to go back and finish this. And I got to the IQ puzzle 20. And I was just sitting there for just like getting frustrated, just more and more stupid, just like feeling more and more stupid, just like, oh God, why can't I get this? It should be. And then I last night I was thinking about it. I went, oh shit.
After the stream?
Worked. Yeah. Like, oh shit, I bet that worked. And then I came back today, like right before drop frames, and I fired up the game and I went, doop, 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 and I was like, victory. And I was like, man, I was way overdoing that shit. And that's the kind of thing with this. Like, there's you know, infinite solutions to the game. And people were watching it going like, God damn you, Zeke, you made me buy this game so I could do it better than you.
It's a fun game. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's like watching a monkey. You know? Like, no matter who plays it. Not you specifically, but like anyone playing this, you're just like, what are they going to draw next?
Yeah, he meant you specifically.
I didn't mean Zeke specifically.
No, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. It's very much like, is he going to figure out how to put the stick in the anthill? Oh, he's thinking about it. He looks at the stick. Yeah. Oh, he did it. He got in the stick in the anthill and he's eating them.
Yeah. What's this?
But it's really fun and satisfying, especially when you're like, you know, got it. One line in the right spot with the right amount of like leverage and stuff. And the other thing I forgot to mention is the bigger the object, or the more filled in the object. Yeah. So if it's just a hollow circle, has less weight than if it's you're drawing the fill-ins and stuff. So it adds weight to it if it's hollow or filled in or whatever. So there's so many of those, like there was where I was like, I got it. And then I do it and you know, you just get that ego boost of chat going like, oh my God, I would have never thought of it. Like, it's like, yeah, it's fucking right. You wouldn't have, because I'm fucking genius. You know?
You said there's,
but other times it's like, why didn't you just put a stick there? And I'm like, I didn't look at it like that. I didn't think about putting a stick there. I'm sorry.
You said there's 1,200 puzzles? Did I mishear you?
No, that's what it says in the blurb. It says you will use the object to solve more than 1,200 missions.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that hard to just like make a mission up and make something happen.
I love that the last line of the Steam blurb is, can you get the ball out of the cup? Let's challenge.
Huh.
I know.
Who are the developers? Like, where are they? I wonder.
It's LIICA. I'm not sure how to say it. LIICA. Lika.
Oh,
Inc.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
There's a D's Nuts joke in there somewhere. Like,
Lika D's Nuts Inc.
There we go. Okay.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah. But it's really fun. I had a blast with it. $6.29 on sale right now. From looks like $8.99 normally. But
great.
I love little brain teasery puzzles, especially the ones that you can, you make your own like solutions to it. So there's no like absolutely correct solution.
Yeah.
Like your solution might be fucking ugly as shit, but it got the job done, didn't it?
Hey Zeke, someone in my chat's wondering, can you make your own puzzles? Is there like a puzzle creation thing in it?
You know what? I am not sure. Hold on.
A puzzle creator.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe that's the
It doesn't
puzzle.
appear so. But I'm not sure.
If you hit right now on the screen, if you hit X there, when it's like show your IQ, does it just average all of your levels together? Is that what it's doing?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Yeah.
You can do it earlier. You can wait till you complete all 20 of them. But I think when I like did the average after not completing the 20th one, because I got too fucking pissed and I couldn't think about it differently. I was stuck on one way of doing it.
Right.
I couldn't think about it any other way. So I think I got, what did I get? Chad, do you remember? It was like low. It was like 70 or something like that. 60. It was like it called me like a lunkhead, meathead, or something like that.
I gotta see.
This one took a second.
Yeah, I gotta see how you solve this. Do you have to like create a physics thing to like bump it up?
Yeah. Okay. Like it's physics like an actual coat hanger. So like I thought about dropping something on the left hand side to make it like turn around. However, the coat hanger has its own amount of weight, and it's you can't drop something. It's not high enough.
I see what you were doing there. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing there.
You can't drop something from high enough to get enough momentum on it to like, pop it, down hard enough to flip it around to get it off the coat hanger. But yeah, you end up just like trying random things like, okay, would this work? What if I did this? What if I did this? And then sometimes you forget like, oh, right, the bottom has to be flat or it'll just like tip over or roll away or whatever.
I see what you're saying about like once you start to solve the problem a certain way, you constantly go back to trying to solve it that specific way rather than starting over with a new solution.
It's like beating a Souls-like fight.
Yes.
Like sometimes you just have to beat it a certain way, and it doesn't matter if there's an easier way to do it. You can do it this way, and you're just going to make it work.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You're not interested in hearing chat repeatedly tell you the better ways to do it because you're going to do it your way, and that's how this boss is done.
That's exactly right.
One of the frustrating things about this particular game is that it's when you reset everything. You can't just Control Z a line you made. You have to go back.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're like, shit, I made that line too long or I made that line too short. If you've drawn like 3 shapes, you got to draw those 3 shapes again.
I want to click on the screen and try different things right now.
No, this game's fascinating to watch. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I got to see how you solve this. We're watching until you solve this. I'm sorry, but
it might be a minute.
What?
You got to go the other way anyway. Like,
what? Okay.
I think you're onto something, though. It feels like you're onto something. Why are you going that way, though?
I don't know.
This is cruel to seek be the
honestly, like you, especially doing it in front of chat, you feel dumber and dumber because
100%.
Like, I know there's a simple solution to this. I'm not seeing it. Remember that one I did that blew your mind?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Rewatch that again.
Remember that? Remember when I looked smart? It's very much a like visual, like, do you see it? Can you visualize what you need to do? And a lot of times once you do, I think this was one of them. Like once I figured out like, oh, that's the way to do it. It was just like a couple of drawings just to tweak it right. I ended up getting it. Now, I really don't know how long this is going to take, dude. So
I'm along for the ride. I have to know now. I'm not skipping ahead.
Okay. Like just more rocks. Just drop more rocks on it. Everything will be fine. Just drop more rocks.
Okay, that's a reset. I get it.
Yeah.
Did we skip this? Oh, someone in my chat just said, "Didn't you skip this one?"
Oh,
No.
wait a
God.
second. How long?
No. I went back and did it. Oh, maybe I went back after. Did I go back after? And yeah,
Are you asking
because I
us?
went back to the game. This was my first game of the day, and then I went back to it for the last hour of the day. Was this?
Oh,
That's it.
Oh,
That was
got it. Boom.
there you go.
100 IQ. Love it.
Nice job, dude.
That game's
Nice
fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Q Remaster. You said $9?
Well, it's on sale right now for $6.29.
What did you say the name of that game was?
Q Remastered.
Remastered.
I'm buying it now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna check this game out as well. Might be offline, but it pretty good. Pretty good. It's a good game. What else did you play, Zeke, on the old Indies Saturday?
Okay, let me see here.
Hurry quick, or I'm gonna get interested in this one.
No, no. Some of them just go easy. Like all you got to do is touch the yellow balls, and then they'll go. And that's it. That's all you got to do is get the ball in the cup.
Cleverly solved. Yeah, 120.
120.
I played Kalevania. Let's talk about that one. Or Kalevania. However, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Wait, like the green leafy plant?
Yeah, but not. Okay. This is
Okay.
Kalevania. It's a retro action platformer loosely based on Finnish mythology, and the names in the game will fuck up your mouth because if you don't speak Finnish, they are like Väinämöinen. Like it's very Finnish. With umlauts and accents and all that kind of shit.
I think you just offended like 3 to 5 countries. with
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Can you not say that again? That's really offensive.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm very sorry.
I'm pretty offended. I
Yeah.
don't even know what you said.
We're gonna have to
Exactly.
do like a twit longer and all this shit.
Dude, is the screen what is going on with the screen? Is this normal?
It's
flashing
it's because
and,
I'm
like-
fighting that thing on the ground there. That guy's a bigger he's a
I
more
just
tough
mean
enemy.
like
But
there's
yeah,
so much like flashing.
I must not be like super sensitive to it because it didn't ever really bother me all that much. Yeah, now that you mention it, I can't not see it. But
A lot of flashing.
the game itself is you can fight with bare hand, sword, axe, bow, 11 runic weapons with 50 plus enemy types and collectibles. Enjoy a full retro gaming experience. Play as Väinämöinen and relive classic console gaming. This game had, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because it had way more than I expected, and it was a lot more fun. It moves a lot faster than like the game it's named, like Castlevania. It moves a little bit faster than Castlevania. And there's a lot more like platforming and jumping around and trying to, get to like higher ledges and stuff like that. But it's crisp. It controls well. I didn't notice the flashing until you said so, but that might be a huge attraction for some people. It didn't bother me all that much. The music
Whoa.
I got the invincibility star basically.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. But it controls really well. It's really fun. You can change up like play styles and stuff. You get fire spells, ice spells, electric spells, and stuff like that. There's secrets to find. Sort of like platforming-ish kind of puzzles to solve. There's, you have to like go down there, hit a lever, and then open that door, and then go over here and blah, blah, blah. There's stuff like that in it. It's not a Metroidvania, so there's not like save points. It's a straightforward like level world 1, world 2, world 3 kind of progression. And at the end of each world, there is a boss fight. There's an upgrade system that you go back to town, you get copper. See in the upper right corner, there's copper. You spend the copper to get like the upgrades, like double jump was the first thing I bought, obviously. So you buy double jump.
That's a correct.
You buy
choice.
like a magic upgrade, your spells do more damage, blah, blah, blah. So there's an upgrade system. It just amazed me like how much to it, the game, like how much there was to the game, but also how, it didn't feel jank at any time. It felt like something you can get good at. I fucked up a lot and I died a lot, and yes, I died right there. But it never felt like the game was being unfair to me. It always felt like I got to get better. I got to get more power ups. Make my guy better. And the music in it is fantastic. It's really like feels like a good homage to Castlevania music. It's funny at times. Some of the translations are a little bit weird, but it kind of adds to the charm of it. But yeah, it's if you like retro style Castlevania-ish platformers, it's a fucking good game. It's normally $16.99. It's on sale right now for $12.74. So seems to be priced right as well. Yeah,
cool. Kalevania.
Yeah, Kale Vania.
Kalevania.
Yeah.
Cool. How do you pronounce that? Anything else? I think there's like 2 more games. 3. Oh, here you go back to this one. 2 or 3 more games. Anything you want to?
I played Mia and the Dragon Princess. That was the new. You want to do this one first?
No. We can do whatever. I know.
Since you're already on it, I'll just.
Skinny and Franco, Fist of Violence. Yeah, how is Skinny and Franco?
Yeah, Skinny and Franco, Fist of Violence. I was apprehensive about it because beat 'em ups are really they got to be real good for me to enjoy them. I'm not a huge fan of beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
And this one wasn't. It wasn't that great.
Love it.
Yeah, the fun part of this game, because it's super repetitive and the controls are not. First of all, they're not intuitive controls, meaning A is your main, it's A to punch, and that just fucked me up the whole time. I was like, all right, A to pick up stuff or A to jump. No, it's A to punch. Fuck, all right. So A to punch, X to or B to kick, X to do whatever. But that notwithstanding, the beat 'em up aspect of it is it's not crisp. You want to grab somebody, it's finicky. I hate it when that shit is finicky. I'm trying to grab somebody that's on the ground and you got to be in the exact right spot. It's not most beat 'em ups have a circle of grab.
Yeah.
If you're this close to somebody, you will grab them. This one is this big. It's you got to be that precise to pick somebody up off the ground and do the cool shit you want to do. Also pick up anything off the ground. If you want to pick up a bottle or a stick or a bat or whatever, you got to be pretty precise. And I didn't dig that at all.
Okay.
The thing I will say that is probably the best I've seen in a long time is how weird and wonderful, terrible the translation is.
Oh yeah.
To English, and how bad the accents are. Not bad, thick. They are thick ass Polish accents.
Oh, Polish. Okay.
Yeah, thick Polish accents, and they say some of the weirdest shit in the middle of fights, or they're dialogue bubbles.
That's what Polish
above their
people
heads
are known for.
just.
Yeah.
It's so weird, dude.
I got nothing against you, but I don't like it when people abuse their power.
Look,
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's this guy seems all right. Why are you beating this guy up?
Yeah, see, that's the tip of the iceberg. I'll blow ya. Fucking weird. Yeah, I'll blow ya. I'm not kidding. He said, I'll blow ya. As a threat. Not I'll blow you the good kind. He's trying to threaten you. But
you just kicked into that man and he just picked you up and threw you up.
He's Zangief, dude. Yeah, he just grabbed you.
This is the boss. This is the boss I fought. And
okay.
I end up
bar at the bottom.
I end up losing to him because he's one of those bosses that gets his fucking HP back after you beat him once. He, gets
weird.
back
The
up
boss regens HP. I haven't fought one of those at all. Ever. You fucks. Sorry. I went to a dark place. It was bad.
That's okay. Totally fine. But yeah, he gets back up with half his HP, and I had 0 guys left, and you go all the way back to the beginning of the level, and I said, nope, all dead for. Because it was charming for hold on. It was charming for 49 minutes.
Okay, 49-minute game.
And I had enough. I was like, I get it. That's fine. I'm done. I got enough laughter out of those 49 minutes from there's a prologue or a prologue story that's like little like hand-drawn like panels, like comic panels of like what's going on in the story, and the dialogue is just stupendously awesome in the first part, and then you move on, and the threats that you throw back and forth from all the people you're fighting on the street they're just great as well, and some of them make no sense, and some of them make a little bit of sense, but not the way you think. It's fucking confusing is all I gotta say. But it's not a recommend by any means.
Let's hear about Mia and the Dragon.
For $18.99.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's egregious.
Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah, Mia and the Dragon Princess. You want to talk about this FMV game?
Sure. Mia and the Dragon Princess is a new FMV game that came out developed, published by Dead Pixel and Wales Interactive. And Wales Interactive has done quite a few things that you might remember if you're an FMV fan. They've done 5 Dates. They did Late Shift. They did The Bunker. A few of them. They're responsible for a few of them.
I remember The Bunker. Yeah.
A few of those games. This game is good. This isn't part of the game, by the way. That heat map thing, that's an extension I added because I let the chat make their choices.
Oh,
so
cool.
all they had to do was click on the screen, choice 1, choice 2. There's only 2 choices whenever you come to something. It's like do this or this. So it was easy for the chat to like make my choices for me. So I let the chat, play the game the first time, and then it's a game designed to be played through multiple times because it's relatively short. It's like hour and a half, 2 hours to play through it once, and then you play through it again to make the other choices and stuff like that. There are, I think we discovered like 8 different endings to it, and we got 2 of them out of it. Okay. So it has mixed reviews on Steam, and I can see why, because it's one playthrough of the game is like an hour and a half for most people, so it's like not very long, but it's designed to be played a few times through. Some of the action is good. It like, I'm not kidding. The first tag on Steam, violent. it goes violent, visual novel, comedy, immersive sim, but violent. It is violent. There's multiple deaths or blood, not gore, so to speak.
I mean,
like,
that person
just
had his neck snapped. Yeah.
But yeah, like there's people getting blown up, people getting impaled, neck snapping. Right there.
Yeah. A lot of neck snapping.
Yeah. So much neck snapping. But yeah, it was fun for what it was. Let's see. Yeah, not inordinately priced. It's normally $13. It's on sale for $11.69. Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, it's not overly priced or anything. So it's a shorter experience, and it's the story is okay. It's fun. The action scenes are actually really well done, and that's kind of where it shines. Is when you see like the Dragon Princess, you see her like get fucking like kung fu nasty on some people. It's great. That shit is actually really well done, and some of the stunts look like they really fucking hurt.
That's good. That's good stunt work.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the doctors in it, Doctor Who, I think it was the 8th Doctor, is in it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild. Is the studio London based or something? Are these all like?
Yeah, Wales Interactive. I'm guessing they're UK.
Oh yeah, that would.
Everybody had an English accent or UK accent or Scottish. There was
makes
Scottish
sense
there.
Huh. Okay. Me and the Dragon Princess. Oh no, if you want it.
Paul McGann. Yeah.
Oh, that's the 8th.
That's the guy who's in. Yeah, he has a part in there.
Have you ever watched? I've never watched Doctor Who before. Are we all like not Doctor Who?
Any of them?
Yeah,
I never watched the previous ones because I'd imagine it's the same reason why like I tried watching an episode, and I also tried watching an episode of the original Star Trek series, and I'm just like, this is too old. It got too much old on it for me to enjoy it, really. But I will say the new
ones,
the series, I don't know, 10 years old or whatever now, but like that, real good. Like try the first season, and maybe this is sacrilegious, but the first season with the first Doctor Eccleston or Eccleston.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's still my favorite of the new Doctors. I loved his performance. He was amazing.
I've been watching them since like David Tennant and like those guys, and it's a lot of fun. That whole universe is a lot of fun.
It's
I
just
also love how they deal with time travel. I very much prefer the way they deal with it, which is really cool, and they do with it a lot. They deal with it a lot, so it's a lot of fun how they do it.
Yeah,
I have to check it out. It's got a massive fan base, so they're doing something right.
That's where I.
Okay. I didn't realize who Eccleston was. Yeah, he was badass. He was great.
Yeah,
I actually watched it with him. He was in one before Tenet, right?
Yeah, it went Eccleston, Tennant, Bowtie.
Matt Smith,
really famous. I can't remember his name. Yep, Smith. And then it went Capaldi, and then can't remember her name. God damn it! I missed Matt Smith and
Jody.
Whittaker.
I wanted to say Judy, but no, Jodie Whittaker. There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, if you start with the first season of the new run, it's like I would recommend it. I think it's really good.
Cool. Hey, speaking of British things, did y'all see the coronation at all yesterday?
I do not follow British royal stuff.
I don't either, but man, the memes coming out of that shit are so fucking funny. There's one of my, oh yeah, dude. There's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Look at this tweet. This one sent me right here. The tweet is anyone else run strength/faith builds?
Oh, that was a great tweet. I didn't realize that was from the Royals. Okay, I saw that too. I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Then there's like
who's the guy that it's that is it 2 Dark Souls 2 or 3?
Yeah. That's I don't know what that is. I don't know. The whole thing is just fucking bizarre to me. It's such a weird thing. There's like the holy hand grenade of Antioch or whatever. Did y'all see that thing where he got handed like this weird circular vase thing with the cross on it that had like, I don't know, 1 billion diamonds on it. It's like, oh, this is the holy grenade of Antioch. Yeah. It's good stuff. The Vindolor. Yeah. I don't know what any of that is. It's all wild. Taxpayers did pay the bill for all that too. Yeah. The crown though is kind of cool. The crown is from 1600. That's a wild, it's got some history.
Velstad. You got it. Yep. Velstad, the boss from Dark Souls 2. That's who he reminded me of. That big, like, religious, like, cudgel. His was a bell, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. That was good memes. Anyways, anything else you guys played we should talk about? About 30 minutes.
What have you been playing? What you just been on some like
Fallen Order, Xenoblade, off stream. Okay. Now that's done. Might go back to One Piece. Honestly, like 60 hours. I was playing like 2 or 3 hours a night. That took up that game's long. I've been playing that for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Pretty much every single night. Yeah. What else have I been playing? I'd have to look at my list. I don't think there's Chad, am I forgetting anything? Anyone try Age of Wonders 4? Code, did you try Age of Wonders 4?
I am trying that tonight for the first time.
Okay.
So I am gonna be doing that on my alt channel and seeing how that thing goes.
Cool.
I've had enough. So many people have said many good things about it. Oh yeah. It's been wild.
Yeah, pretty much. I did Redfall and I played the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog for Community Day because that's what people voted. That was on Monday. I didn't even talk about that. I think that might be the first visual novel I've ever played. It was weird. It's free. So it's free game. That's all I could say. It's free game. Story's all right. It's like 3 hours. But it was a visual novel. So it was basically, I think my community was basically making me read for 4 hours, and that's how they tortured me.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Just made me read a visual novel.
That is rough.
About Sonic. I learned all about Sonic and his hedgehog friends. Go ahead, Zeke. I was gonna.
No, that was the Sonic
the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, that was their like April Fool's free game.
Right.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Not super hilarious or anything.
Nah,
Just
I
kinda-
don't. Yeah, it was kind of meh.
I'm glad you played it because I was wondering if I should or not. But if it's just meh, then
yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Wild Skunk says, did they talk about Last Case of Benedict Fox? Oh, I know you did a sponsored stream for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, sort of.
I played the
had
demo
not-
for that. I'm very curious, like, if they shipped that demo. How is it?
So I didn't actually do a sponsor stream for it. It was an indie dev, and they approached me and they were like, "Hey, we really want to work with you, but we're an indie dev and you are kind of expensive." And so they talked to my management, went back and forth. So what they ended up doing is I ended up doing an hour YouTube video. And they were like, "You can play it off stream; it's totally fine." And I was like, "Nah, I'll give it to you." So I did an hour stream and then put it on YouTube. And the TLDR at the end of the hour is that the world is really interesting. I like the kind of investigation Metroidvania approach. There's no question that things are very unique, but I did opt out of continuing playing it because the whole point of a Metroidvania is it needs to feel toy, and this game was like the opposite of toy. Like it was the jumping felt very loose. Everything just felt a little bit loose, and like it was not quite. Although the aesthetic and the world and the story, to put it bluntly, was really intriguing and I thought was really interesting, the actual gameplay I found a little bit lackluster.
Okay, that's exactly when I played the demo, it was 100%. I was also just confused a lot. Like I was just walking around like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they don't really give you too many hints at the beginning. They're just like, "Oh, cool. So you got, a tentacle demon that's a part of you." And like they just kind of like, and just all this stuff's happening and they just kind of like walk you through it. I'm guessing that's part of the exposition is you're supposed to like learn about this creature and why he's with you and everything. But yeah, it was I think that it's a game that has a lot of very interesting ideas. And it aesthetically is very pleasing. But again, the game, if the gameplay was a lot tighter and a little bit more directed, I think it would have been a better experience.
Yeah. I watched, you said you played.
What's toy mean? Like tiger toy. Yeah.
You said you played an hour. Is that right?
I played about an hour.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I watched Max, Gassy Mexican. I think he did maybe it was 2 hours and like, it was fucking 2 hour stream. Max didn't solve or accomplish a single thing.
Oh.
He just ran around. He got to like so many different combat sequences and died. And I was wondering if that's the game or if that's Max. I don't know what was happening. But he would like walk up to a puzzle and be like, I don't know what any of this means. I think you saw one of them when you like walked up to a window seal or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those, well, it's in similar Metroidvania style, you generally find the puzzle before the answer.
Yes. Yeah.
And it kind of repeats that over and over. The problem is a lot of times they'll throw like 2 or 3 to 5 of those at you. So you're just like, there's stuff all around me and I don't have any clue what to do with any of it. So it was a little undirected at times.
Yeah. He was joking because he's like, man, I hope they're not watching because they're probably just like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? I was like, yeah, that's about
That's always good. Was he doing okay? Oh, so he wasn't doing a sponsored stream.
No, he did a sponsored stream for it. Yeah.
That was during the sponsored
stream.
Yeah,
he didn't
so during
literally solve anything.
Man, I hope they're not watching.
Because he didn't solve anything.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no.
He like went into the first world that you like go into and he did a bunch. He looked at this thing, he's like, I don't know what this does. I don't know what any of this means. Because you can get this like the second you load into the game. It was pretty funny.
You can, yeah. The first, when you're in the thing that it doesn't really explain to you very well is like the house, when you're outside of memories, the house is just full of puzzles that you have to go into the memories to find the answers for. So it's very overwhelming for like a period of time when you're like, is this the game? Like, am I supposed to find these puzzles in this house somewhere? Like, what is going on?
Yeah. It was a fun. It's always fun watching, I think, for me, other streamers do sponsored streams because you've been in that spot before. This happened to me with Redfall. Like I played Redfall on Wednesday. And so at that point, the damage was done, right? So like I was like, guys, we're going to do a sponsored stream of Redfall. And I think people had saw your sponsored stream or some of the other sponsored streams. They're like, yeah, they did 2 hours. And I was like, we've got 3. And everyone in chat was just like, no. And so the sponsored streams are a lot of fun to watch other streamers.
And, yeah, a lot of times viewers don't understand, like, these sponsored streams are at times like agreed to.
You signed
documents
so long in advance.
Months in advance.
Yes.
Months in advance. So like we a lot of times it's kind of like when you're standing on the train tracks and the train is moving at you at like 5 miles an hour and you're just like, I'm contractually obligated not to move.
Yeah. I'll never forget the For Honor sponsored stream that I did like probably a decade ago, whenever that game came out. And that is to date the only sponsored stream that I've ever been like in the middle of it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to contact the sponsor and I'm no longer going to play this game. You do not need to pay me for this hour or 2 or whatever it was. I'm done. And that game wasn't even bad. I just sucked at it. It was
quite a triggering game. It was a little bit of a triggering game.
I was gonna say, once you figured out that you could be the cheapy push guy,
I didn't know that.
You had a lot more fun.
Yes, yeah. As soon as I figured that out, it was super fun once you got the shield and just push people off the stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, we were all feeling that during Cohh Media.
Oh God. That's one of my favorite things because I watched like 90% of that directory do a sponsored stream. And I had so much fun with that. I got like the 2 of you. I think I got Dan, and I like put y'all's heads while y'all were watching on my stream.
That one was very tough. That was one of those stories of a company like that show was not that show should have.
It was so bad.
Had as few eyes on it as possible. Like that was the marketing department, not talking to like the production department. It was an actual, but probably one of the few only actual train wrecks I've ever been a part of on Twitch. It was catastrophic.
I had to do their fucking job for them. I had to.
You showed the game.
I remember Steam trailers for the games because they weren't showing any B-roll, nothing.
Yeah.
So just for my sake to get through it for something to watch, because. I don't know. Did they think like people wanted to watch devs talk about a game we haven't seen yet, like with no video? Like, let's talk about this game. Let's just talk about it.
I remember.
Let's show it. Let's talk about it. Like, what?
It wasn't also for like 5 minutes. It was like 20 to 30 minutes at a time, right? Like it was.
Oh yeah.
It was like a 2 or 3 hour sponsored stream that just dragged. I remember both of you at one point were just like this.
I put a still image up of myself and left for a minute.
I remember that.
I definitely left early.
I remember you leaving early. Yeah.
I left early because it was just
it's fun. My point of view.
And it went on longer than they said because they paid us for 2 hours and it went on for like 2.5 or something.
And it went on for longer.
Like,
so I checked with
2 hours. I'm done.
I literally checked with my team and I was like, what does the contract say explicitly? I want to know the language. I want to know the language of the contract and does it state 2 hours?
I love it.
And they were like, yeah, it says 2 hours. And I was like, I am gone.
I love it.
I am gone. I actually ended up writing them like an email. Not a sternly worded, but I wrote them a letter to deliver to them. And I was like, this is an example of not understanding your audience to any capacity.
Well,
and this was a terrible idea and you should not do this again.
It didn't do him any favors.
I say this coming from a place of trying to help you. Do not ever do this again. Like this didn't. I can tell you, this is not a Twitch event.
No,
it was a bad idea to do it. It was a bad idea to sponsor so many people to watch it.
It wasn't just the 2 of you as well. It was honestly.
Oh God, it was like 20 people.
It was like the entirety of Loaded's streamer clientele.
What game are we talking about? We're not talking about a game. We're talking about there's this actually large publisher. It's Kohh Media. Kohh.
Huge.
I don't know how to say it. It's Koch Media. and they have lots of games under them. I think they're like an umbrella company kind of thing. And they put together this like show. They tried to they think E3 show or showcase, but the problem is that it was arguably the worst one that any of us have ever seen. So what they did was they didn't show any gameplay footage. They basically were just interviewing devs without even at times showing like screenshots. And a lot of times the stuff they were talking about weren't even the game that we didn't know anything about. So it was completely disconnected from anything that somebody watching it on Twitch would be interested in. And what's even worse is the whole thing was spun as like Koch Media Game Showcase. Like, come check out. And it was and wasn't it with like during?
It was
Not
during
E3?
like not E3 last
so,
year.
So it was
ago,
during when people are there to like find out about games and hear announcements and stuff like that. So it was again, it was a complete lack of understanding their audience and what their audience wanted. It was horrible. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Was it at least some in-depth dev talk? No, not really. It was all surface level and random and like nothing about the games that they were talking about. Like they were talking about like their production pipelines and stuff. And it's like, dude, you haven't even officially announced the game. We don't even know what it looks like. We don't even know what the gameplay is. And you're talking about like all this stuff that you're doing. And like, no offense, we don't care. We don't care. Nobody cares about this.
There was no trailers. It was just like pipeline and production
I've never
conversation.
Heard so much talk over app, like, and with nothing coming out of it. No information, no takeaways, like no hype level of any kind.
Absolutely.
I honestly said I felt for the interviewers when I watched that because I was like, I've been not as often, but I've definitely been in the position of like, I have nothing left to ask this guest. I don't know what to do now for the next 10 minutes. We are scheduled to interview for a half an hour, so I'm just going to blab. Blabbity blab, blabbity blab. Here's what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
You know, like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Someone found what is this clip? I got to see what this clip is. What even is this? This is from the... So that's the actual conference below me. And then there's me sleeping on camera.
Yeah.
It was great.
I remember this.
It was great.
It just went on forever.
It was long, yeah. Yeah. We do a little bit of trolling.
They just kept going.
We do a little bit.
Just kept going.
It's good times. It's good times.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God. Koh, did you happen to see that the DLC announcement for Atomic Heart? Yeah,
No.
They put out a video for that. It's like actually 20 seconds long. Wait, well, that was a lot of shit. It's 20 seconds long. That's it. Atomic Heart DLC number 1.
Is it just like?
It's literally just there to
cool?
announce him or to announce it. Let me pull it.
Okay.
Atomic Heart.
I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Yeah, 21 seconds long. This is it. I don't know if any of this means anything to you, Koh. I'm not even going to play the audio because it's so short. I guess that's like another thing. Like
Summer.
Yeah.
New marbles on stream? Oh, no.
That was it?
That's it. I told you. Yeah, it's super short.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wow. That really is it.
Are you sure it's not marbles on stream? Because it certainly looks like it.
It does kind of look like marbles on
This
stream.
summer. Atomic Heart.
Yeah, I see something like that, and it's really hard to get excited over it.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, for all we know, that's a 30-second running map and a few new guns. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. We'll just kind of wait.
What was the other? They're putting out Forspoken DLC. They're not done with that game. It's called In Tanto We Trust.
Oh.
So you might see some more sponsored streams for that if they've got any marketing budget left for that game.
Did you do a sponsored stream for that?
Would I?
Yeah.
I didn't. Did I do a sponsored stream for trying to think if I did or not. Would I do one for this? Probably not. It would depend. I don't know how it also works if it like, is it standalone or a lot of times when they do DLC, it's like you have to play a game up to this certain point. And whenever they do that, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm I'm out. I'm not gonna put like 8 hours into a game or 10 hours into a game to stream it for 2. They do that every so often. So
Was Forspoken ever on Game Pass?
No, I don't believe so.
yeah, I don't think it was.
The reason why I ask is because if you're waiting to check it out, it's got a nice discount right now. It's 33% off. So it's not 70, it's 46.
That's right. That
89.
was a $70 game too. Fuck me, man. Jesus. Oh, that was PS5 exclusive. Okay, that makes sense. There's also PC, but console exclusive, if I recall. And then that's kind of it. I was just looking through the Zeke. Are you gonna play What the Car? You should probably play What the Car. Put that on your Indie Sunday.
Excuse
list.
me?
Yeah, play What the Car. And
What? What the golf and what? Okay,
it's from the What the Golf devs. Put that on your list. Yeah.
I don't see it. Is it Steam or is it Epic or what?
I don't know what it's on actually. I saw a trailer for it. Maybe it was just an announcement trailer. Oh, it's official launch trailer. It should be out. Oh, it's Apple Apple Store. The Apple you got to use an Apple thing. Not an Apple gamer over there.
I own 0 Apple products.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that'll solve it.
Now that the iPod is no longer that was the only thing I had was the iPod.
Mm.
And once that became defunct and you don't need it anymore, like that was the last holdout of Apple product that I had.
I'm sure it'll come to.
No, and I'm not shitting on Apple. Apple's great. My brother works for.
No, I can't believe you would say that about
that kind of shit. It's just
John Apple. It's
I
crazy.
never got into it, so it's not intuitive to me. You know,
Corey,
I was
you
always on Android and PC.
Are you Android or Apple? Where do we sit on this?
I've always been Android.
Android. Okay, I'm the Apple, the lone Apple on the show.
I grew up on my dad's a graphic designer, so I grew up on Macs. Gaming on Macs, funny enough. My first gaming stuff was on Macs, like with Myth and Bungie and Pathways into Darkness and all that kind of stuff. So I transitioned to PC and never really looked back.
There you go.
Never done the iPhone thing or anything like that.
There you go. I think that's it. Not really any other big trailers. Like I said at the very start of the show, things are kind of slowing down a little bit as they start to keep things behind closed doors, starting to get a bunch of invites for the Summer Game Fest stuff, different streams, all that. So that'll kick off at the start of launch. I think things will kind of slow down until then, at least in game announcements. Next week will be Zelda. That'll be the big discussion.
Zelda and D4.
Yeah. That's right. Right about that. That's next weekend. That's open, right? You don't have
Zelda
to.
and
Diablo
D4 is
4.
what?
Yeah.
Diablo
what?
4 is doing
They
their
got
server slam next weekend.
yeah,
So
the
their
server
last
slam.
big beta.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
chance to get all the stuff unlocked before live, they're saying. So
I'm sorry.
tomorrow-
I'll be knee deep in trinkets and baubles.
yeah, I was gonna say tomorrow is DD2,
Yeah.
which is gonna be super awesome tomorrow at noon.
I need the two of you to weigh in on this because I don't know if I just if the algorithm was like, here's a negative comment about Darkest Dungeon to keep you engaged, because I'm still fucking engaged in this. Someone was very negative about this game and said the replayability was low for
Okay.
DD2 or something.
So here's the deal.
Or
They
that
have
it doesn't
switched.
change.
DD1 was all about a slow, methodical march forward.
Yeah.
It was a game that you could farm in. It was a game that you could do side stuff in, but it was a slow, methodical march forward. DD2 is a roguelite.
Huh.
DD2 has changed the whole thing. So now in DD2, you do have things that march forward, like upgrading your characters and your carriage and stuff like that. But there is a defined beginning of end to your rounds, and there's lots of differences between them.
Okay.
So it is not every DD1 fan is happy with that.
Yeah, that might have been
So
what I saw then.
there are people that will say straight up DD2. I have had somebody who loved DD1 say DD2 is just trash. They hate it. They don't like it. They change too much. It's terrible. Me, I love DD2. I actually prefer DD2 over DD1 because I find that it keeps it fresher more often, especially now that I went back and played it recently, and they've added so much since I played it. So
Cool.
what is DD2? DD2 is Darkest Dungeon 2.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be playing. I'm going to be playing tomorrow morning, probably DD2 pre 1.0, and then when 1.0 rolls around at 12, I'm gonna wipe my slate clean, start a brand new game right when 1.0 releases,
Nice.
and probably be playing that most of next week.
Yeah, I'll probably check
So
it
yeah,
out.
I am. It is a fantastically cool roguelike game. It's basically taking Darkest Dungeon and putting it in a roguelike framework
Cool.
with
Yeah.
a lot of its own twists and Wayne June is back, of course, and he's amazing. So it's the whole thing is just. You have to play DD1 for 2? No, you don't. You don't.
It wouldn't be the same, man. It'd be like
if they didn't have Wayne. Yeah.
replacing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like, you just can't fucking just put any old person in Wayne Jr. You gotta
What
have
if
Wayne
it was Tom Cruise though, Zeke?
No.
If it was Tom Cruise doing the Wayne Jr. part?
No. Doing Iron Man.
Oh, Tom Cruise stepping into the Iron Man role.
Yeah. Might happen.
How you guys gonna
You're not
pee on RDJ like that? What is wrong with
serious?
you?
You're not serious,
Come
right?
on.
No, it might happen.
There's no rumors?
It might be Secret Warsy
No.
later in a couple of
no,
films. Yeah, they might do some
no.
multiversal stuff with Iron Man. Yeah, it might happen.
I've got nothing against Tom Cruise. I really don't. I think he'll do
I
a
don't
fine
either,
job.
but he's not Iron Man.
But I don't
even
think-
watch Marvel, and I know this.
I don't think he has
Come
the same like smarmy, awesome, like rich guy attitude. I don't think he can pull it off as well as Robert Downey.
Yeah,
And
why
even
not?
like it speaks so much to how good Robert Downey played that character that he
Oh.
was in the Marvel Sundown
Marvel
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns. There you go. In Marvel Midnight Suns, he was the only one that was being imitated as far as like what it did. Like
Movie
every other
characters, yeah.
character was their own character, but the person who played Tony Stark in Marvel Midnight Suns copied Robert Downey Jr. because it's just so good.
I will say, nobody can replace Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, except Nicolas Cage. To be fair, I mean, I
True.
think that's a yes.
I mean, that you don't even need to say Nick Cage can play anything. He can
Nick-
replace
yeah,
anybody in
yeah,
anything. Like,
Obviously, you could do a Marvel movie and just have every character played by Nicolas Cage. I think it'd be fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine
It'd be good.
I think being John Malkovich would have been better if it was
if it was Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Cage.
Absolutely.
Did y'all see the Gran Turismo trailer? The movie?
Is Nick Cage in it?
No, but it's got
okay.
it's got Legolas in it. It's got David Harbour from Stranger Things in it. It's got another super big actor. And there's also the Twisted Metal series. Yeah, there's the Twisted
What
Metal
about that?
teaser.
I am very interested.
Did you see the
to see what's
teaser
gonna
for
happen
that?
with this Twisted Metal thing?
Man,
Like,
it looks so bad.
really?
of all the IPs to bring back from the dead in show format, it's like, how high do you have to be to pick Twisted? Like, was it up? I don't understand. Was it like, did it just go out of like copyright infringement because it's so old? Or
I
something?
don't
Like,
know, man.
did it cost $5 at Walmart? Like, why would they pick Twisted Metal of all things?
It's wild. I mean, the trailer's just bad. It's just bad. Like it's Paramount Plus, I think, is who's funding that. It's bad.
Yeah. It's Paramount Plus is exclusive,
Yeah,
or Peacock Plus. Peacock Plus is exclusive.
there you go. It's bad.
Peacock. Yeah.
The Gran Turismo, the premise for the Gran Turismo movie is that, and I guess this is a real story or something. I don't really know.
Bring back Carmageddon. Yes.
We should bring back Carmageddon.
Oh yeah.
A kid plays Gran Turismo and wins a reality show type deal, and then gets put into like a real F1 race. And David Harbour is his coach. And so he goes from playing it on the PlayStation to like racing a real F1 car. And it's based on a true story, I guess, according to chat. And also The Thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
You owe me something for making me watch that.
I
Twisted
told
Metal
you it was
trailer.
bad.
Oh my god!
I didn't tell you to watch it. I just asked if you had.
No. It was like the Koch media of fucking trailers, dude. It was like they totally missed the fucking point of the Twisted Metal games. They showed no car smashing or cars moving at all. They showed none of it.
There's
They
Sweet
showed,
Tooth.
They showed Sweet Tooth, but that was it. They just showed him like a little teaser of Sweet Tooth. They didn't even turn on the fucking engines of their cars. Good God, man. What are you thinking?
Man, I'm excited for it though, because how do you include Axel? Like that dude's just
Yeah,
he's just a dude in between two giant wheels, just hanging out. Let's see how it goes.
I think you
Anyway.
gotta take it to the ridiculous end. You gotta fucking just play it like it is, man.
Maybe so.
Don't try and make it realistic. Okay, make it Twisted Metal.
Oh,
It's absurd.
last thing, then we'll do shout outs. Will Arnett is apparently the voice for Sweet Tooth, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did the guy who's playing that big,
I guess
chubbier,
not, yeah.
beast of a guy is not gonna? They don't like his voice enough.
I guess not. I don't know, man.
Okay.
They make weird decisions. Let's do some shout outs. We padded enough. That's the end of the show.
Okay.
Zeke, what's
Yo.
going on?
Nothing. I'm done. Go on. Keep going. No. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Cohh and JP for being host with me every week. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, or Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out on Instagram and TikTok. I broadcast every day, usually except Mondays, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to check me out, I will be live on Tuesday. No, I'm not doing tomorrow. Darkest Dungeon 2. I need 1 day off a week. I do. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll do a half stream, and then I went, I'm not going in half heart. I'm going to go in my full heart. I'm going to full ass
it. That's right.
I'm gonna full ass it starting on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you there. Even though everybody else and their mother be playing it, I'll play it best. So come watch me. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Boom. Cohh. Do some shout outs.
Hi. As always, big thank you to JP and Zeke. A lot of fun this week. I will be playing Darkest Dungeon 2 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET, not the 1.0. We're going to switch over to 1.0 pretty much as soon as they let us, which I think is going to be at 12 p.m., but I'm not entirely sure. I do need to run an errand early tomorrow, so I'll probably play for like a couple hours, run a quick errand, and come back, and we'll just do DD2 until it is time for 1.0, hopefully at noon. I will also be back this evening for my very first look at Age of Wonder 4. Age of Wonders 4. I'll be on twitch.tv/Cohh. We're going to check this game out from the very beginning. I have no idea what to expect. I just know that probably 169 people have asked me about this game over the last 5 days. So frankly, I'm going to see what the hell this game is about. So we're going to be doing that tonight, probably between 6 and 6:30. Of course, if you want to know exactly when I'm starting, we have an awesome mobile app. You can find it on Coalition mobile app on Player App Store. And that's about it. So I am not here next week. I'm doing some other Mother's Day stuff, I think, in the afternoon, tentatively planned. I'll let you know, JP, if that changes.
Sure.
And that should be about it. So see you guys in a couple weeks.
Cool. Yeah, we'll let you guys know. Me and Zeke will get together. Might do a show, might not. If we do a show, it'll be themed around Zelda, but then Cohh said he was going to play it. So we'll see. I might just be lost in the sauce and play some
definitely
Zelda.
checking Zelda out.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That might be a fun conversation to have. It's the first conversation for it in 2 weeks. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/dropframes, and we'll give you all the updates. Tomorrow, Darkest Dungeon for me, like everyone else, MCU crew, will be talking all about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's our review show for that tomorrow night. That starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday's day off. Wednesday, I think I'm finally going to build those PCs, so we'll do that on stream. A dual PC build, as I'm going to be replacing the streaming PC and the gaming PC, and so I guess I'll build both on air at the same time, because...
Same stats, or are you going something different for each one?
The only difference in between the two is one has 32 gigs of faster RAM and one has 64 gigs of slower RAM for stability.
Cool.
So other than that, they're
4090
same
in each one?
specs. 13900K in each one, 4090, and I guess the GPU is different. 4090 in the gaming, and then probably a 3080 in the. I hate talking about this because I have a bunch of graphics cards just laying around, so I'm going to pick one and we'll put it.
Sounds great.
We'll see what I end up in there. You don't need that much.
JP,
GPU.
the only one on the show with a deck of graphic cards.
Yes.
He plays 52 graphic card pickups sometimes.
That is true. Zelda at the end of the week, and then kind of just going from there. So that's what we got going on. Should be a fun time. We'll circle back maybe next week. We'll let you know. I'll get with Zeke after the show, and we'll communicate, do the typings, and get out of here. Is your cat? Oh, that's the back of his. I was very confused what we were looking at.
Yeah, my cat Dimitri likes to sit right on my mouse and just stare at me. So
he's keeping you safe from all the ghosts.
He does. He demands pets.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Pets and licks.
We're out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks the two of you for joining. We'll see you next time on More Drop Frames. Bye-bye.